Oh.
Hello! Let's make sure everybody can hear us. I
Hi.
think they can. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear the chat. You can hear the
Hello.
cast. Okay. All right. This is it's not my first time streaming, but it's the first time being back in the saddle in quite a while. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome to Fears and Fortunes, a amazing new show that is being put together by the wonderful people at Forgotten Adventures. They are the makers of tokens, battle maps, and map assets. Basically anything you need to make a very enriching, dynamic environment for a virtual tabletop. They make that stuff. And yeah, it's been such a pleasure to work with them. I'm Glorious George. I will be your DM for this evening and for many evenings to come, I think. And we have a wonderful cast here. I'll just go around and introduce them. If you want to start, Howdy.
Howdy, darlings. I'm Meadow, she, they pronouns. I'm so excited to be here today. I will be playing Sly.
Okay, and Adam.
Oh, hello. I'm ArcaneAdam. You can find me on the internet telling stories at a lot of different places, but super excited to be here for this show with all these amazing folks. And I am playing Lucian.
And May.
Hello, I'm May, or MaeLeFay on all the social media stuff. This is not my first time playing with George, and yes, he has killed me before, just so you know. And if you hear cats screaming in the background, I just got a new cat. I'll try not to make that happen, but just so you know, nothing bad is happening.
And of course,
and I'm playing Fable, sorry.
and of course, Sky.
Hi, you guys. My name is SkylerSeamour. I go by at YoSkylerSeamour on all social media, he, they pronouns. And I get to play Una Virat. Very excited to be here with these wonderful people. So thanks for watching.
And of course, Daniel.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Daniel, also known as DanielTheDM on most corners of the internet. I go with he, him pronouns, and today I will be playing Aaren Drivelhog.
Daniel the DM caused so much confusion from people going, "Oh, he's the DM? No. I'm the DM. He's playing in it." But
that's the name.
Yeah, it's his brand. You gotta respect it. So I'm really excited. We have an amazing campaign for you tonight. Normally at this point, I would be going over a recap, but it's our first time playing. I would also be telling you about shows we have coming up, but it's our first show. I would also be showing you an intro, but we're not there yet. We're not at the intro. There will be an intro tonight, but that will come in when it is thematically appropriate. In the meantime, before we continue on, I just want to let you all know the show, again, put together by Forgotten Adventures. And if you want to check out their stuff, there's links all in our About section. There's also a donation area where you can donate to us. The donations don't go directly to necessarily map making or anything like that. That's what their Patreons are for. Donations will be largely to help us do more shows and productions like this. And so we'd really appreciate it. It helps us get tons of art. We have a lot of amazing art today from Karis Alexandra. We have a lot of amazing stuff from Crisby, who made these amazing tarot cards you're going to see a lot more of. And we have music by Emily MC Sings, I believe, is the name she uses on various websites. She's made the song that you're going to be hearing tonight. Really excited for that. But without further ado, I think we should get started. You guys ready?
Very.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Maybe.
Very ready.
Okay. So, our story begins in the land that you see before you. Here we are. This is our homebrew setting. This is a wonderful place called the Agario region. And our story will revolve quite a lot around the city of Beruport, the central city of this land. By the way, this map made by Smetchel Maps. Really amazing maps they make. We'll have info for them later on. But yeah, we start in the city of Barrowport. It has been a very long time since there's been any real trouble in this land, because for the longest time, people were protected by this force, this wonderful person known as the Seer, who made sure that conflicts never got too bad, made sure that, at the end of the day, people were still standing. And because of that, they have been celebrated as a hero throughout all of the land. The problem is they've been dead for about 20 years. And we start there, not in the city of Barrowport, but in the town of Oakrim, outside of Barrowport, specifically at the Seer's house. We start with a young girl named Sly, who is waking up out of bed. Sly, can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Sly is a scrappy young thing. She is short and has silver hair that she loves because it kind of runs in the family. And it's a big treasure to her. She loves to decorate it with tons of little trinkets and baubles that she finds and trades around Barrowport. She loves wearing bright colors. She's extremely against blending in, but she loves to sneak around, which kind of contradict each other. But she's a very individualistic person, and she's really proud of where she comes from. She has a lot of hometown spirit, and she is always down to help someone. And when she wakes up, it is very much a startling thing for her every day. She's never opened her eyes to a morning that she wasn't excited to find out what's going to happen. So she pops right out of bed and probably falls flat on her face, getting her feet twisted up in the covers, and is just excited to see what's for breakfast.
That sounds about right. You wake up and there's actually a clamor of noise outside. We will go ahead and go to your room right now. There
I
you
have
are.
a room.
Yeah, and you
Cute.
have a token. These one of a kind tokens made for us again by Forgotten Adventures, who also makes all the stuff that you see in these wonderful maps that we'll be using, which all are in Foundry. That's what we use for our virtual tabletop. So Sly, you wake up out of bed and you hear noise outside. It's sort of it starts small at first and starts to build. It sounds like people, a lot of people busy. You also hear a little bit of hammering and movement going on. It's coming from right outside your window. Now, to give you an idea of the house layout, your mom's bedroom / the kitchen is right up front right here. This is the office to the left, and
Okay.
right here in this area is the sort of foyer entryway.
Do I know of anything that's supposed to be happening today? It's very likely that Sly forgot, but did her mom tell her
Your mom
that
did
guests were coming or something?
Yeah, your mom did tell you about one thing that was happening. Essentially, there was an announcement made, a proclamation, that this is going to be Seer's Day. And because of that, people are coming to pay their respects. Your mom knew something like this might happen, but even as you're waking up, you're thinking this might be perhaps beyond the scale of what she expected. Because you actually see somewhere around your room, you see lying around a newspaper your mom was looking at. The Barrowport Post.
This is incredible. I think she forgot it first because she woke up, mind is on food. I would really like some elk steak, and then realized it's Seer's Day. And I'm not trying to, hey, don't come for me, Mickey Mouse Corporation. But she's like, it's Day, and bolts out of the door. I don't think she bothers grabbing much besides the thing she usually carries on her, which is a gift that was given to her by her grandmother. It's a little like necklace thing that she carries with her, a little pretty green stone. And she books it. She's gonna wake up everyone. She wants everyone to know it's Seer's Day.
Where are you
and
heading
it's
to
time to get
first?
happy. straight to the kitchen.
Straight
If
to the
I need
kitchen.
to
You
bang
open the
pots
door.
together, I will.
Your mom is already awake. She's usually awake before you. She has been cleaning. She's been organizing. Actually, in fact, this stew would be on, so let's go ahead and light that. And she's getting ready. You actually see her right now, and she's fixated outside. She is staring at something.
Good morning, it's Seer's Day!
Oh, hi. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What's wrong? Oh my god, what's wrong?
She looks outside and you see what she was staring at was actually over here a large amethyst dragonborn who's been carrying boxes to and fro, helping people sort of unload here. I believe you know this gentleman. If you want to describe yourself, Aaren?
Yeah, so what you see before you is Aaren Drivelhog. He's about 7'3", 7'4", really pushing the boundaries of what it means to be a medium-sized creature. And he's just a very tall amethyst gem dragonborn, so his scales kind of look very smooth and have these purple highlights to them all the way out to his horns, and just has a very large build, and he has weapons for days, that's for sure. And he's just out there moving boxes and keeping an eye out on everybody walking around the premises.
So that's what your mom was staring at. She looks back and sort of like diverts her attention back to you to focus. And as she does, it's just, there's a lot more people than I expected. Did you look out your window at all?
I forgot. I came right to the kitchen. I knew you'd be here. Do we have steak?
I can put some stew together for you. Is that
No,
okay?
no. You don't have to do anything more than you're doing. It's Seer's Day. That means it's our family day, which means, okay, I feel like I'm getting more excited and you're getting more exacerbated.
There's a lot to take care of. We're gonna have people knocking on our door any moment now, and I am not prepared. The laundry still hasn't come off of the. We still haven't dried our laundry. It's.
Okay. What? No one cares about laundry? What? This is Seer. You know it's Seer's Day, right? I don't mean to. I sound like a broken record, but it's a day of celebration because of all the good things that the people we are related to have done. Isn't that awesome? You should be happy.
I'm thrilled. I didn't exactly ask for this, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of, we should put a face to the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
Mom! Art!
He's so adorable.
Yes.
Mother!
So sweet. Mother is mothering. I think I take her hands. She has something in her hand. She's like working. I take it out of her hands so that I can place mine over hers. And I look up at her and I go, Mom, you do everything for everyone all of the time. Normally, I would say, let me go get the laundry and let me help you carry stuff and let me help you greet people. But today's not about what we can do for others. It's about celebrating what's already been done for us. Okay? Grandma would want that.
You don't know your grandmother like I do, and she was mostly a very private person.
I know lots. They teach about her in history.
Yes, of course, I suppose they would. Look, we need to get ready. I need to get dressed and cleaned up. Can you at least put the clothes out to dry? Can you do that for me?
Yeah, yes, I can. And then can I go to the celebration?
Yes, but try not to draw too much attention to yourself. I don't think you're ready to be in the public eye. It's not.
I'm so ready.
It's not as glamorous as it looks.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I would appreciate it. And say hi to Aaren for me. And she quickly makes her way out of the room. What would you like to do next?
I am rushing to get ready. I think every step that Sly takes is like another action of getting ready. So like her very first step, putting on a boot, next step, putting on another boot, slamming a hat on. Like she's trying to get dressed and get out of the door so that she can do the laundry. So she's going out where her mom told her to, so she can bring the laundry in and go enjoy the rest of her day.
Okay, you head out. Here are the clotheslines. Yeah, you see Aaren is just finishing helping someone. Aaren, there's people bringing in boxes and tables and tents and banners and everything like that. So you've been sort of helping people get stuff in and out as you are the biggest person here, arguably. Physically, I mean. And anything you guys, either of you wants to do. I know you're coming out to do the clothes, which is very good. Your mom will be happy about that.
I call out to Aaren and say, "Happy Seer's Day!"
Oh, if it isn't the little Hell's Razor. What are you up to?
I'm doing good today. I'm doing all the things I was told to do.
Right. How long is that going to last for?
I think I can get this laundry done in under 60 seconds.
Fair enough. I'm timing you already. Better watch out.
She's grabbing everything she can. Anytime someone gives her a challenge or a test, she tries to rise to it. And I think Aaren would know that. So she's now racing to pull laundry down and get it inside.
How's your mama doing?
Go ahead. Sorry.
She's really
Stressed?
wistful.
Sounds about right.
How are you doing?
Well, you know, I think I've moved about 24 boxes in about the last 30 minutes. So, you know, patience running a little thin, you know. When you get hired on to do, you know, bodyguard work and, you know, just casing the scene, the last thing you think is that you're going to be setting tables and looking at doilies and folding cloths. But
Yeah.
it's part of the job.
You're doing a great job, Aaren. And she drops the laundry and she kind of starts like shadow boxing up to him.
What you
Don't
gonna
worry, we're gonna get in our sparring soon. You're not gonna be
you
looking
know
at those doilies for much longer.
I
And then
can't
she
wait to see your technique
runs off
that
with the
little
laundry.
toothpick.
Not a toothpick. I told you, Aaren, it's a noble blade.
It looks like a toothpick to me.
And then she's gonna grab all the clothes and run inside to drop them off.
Okay. Just give me like a survival check. And you're racing, right? So I'm gonna say at disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, that's a smooth 9.
Awesome. First roll of the game.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, you. I just realized the dice were behind Aaren because he's so big.
My bad.
So
Let me move out the way.
you throw things up. You like just sort of like very haphazardly throw up some pants, some sheets, some socks, and it's like close enough. And you head inside. As you do, heading back inside, you get a good glimpse as you come this way into the house. One moment. As you come this way, here we are. You see what your mom was talking about outside. There are tents and banners set up. More importantly, there is, let me pull this up. There is a line of people lining up to meet your mother. So yeah, tons of vendor stalls and shops. What would you like to do?
My mom told me to lay low.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if that's what Sly would do. She said she'd be good today. She said it. She's going to do that as much as she can. So if no one recognizes her, then she's going to try and slip out and around them just to go enjoy the market rather than like intercept the people, because her mother tells her she's not ready to deal with the people.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. And I'm having you go the short route, but that's not going to add to your difficulty. Oh no, I just realized dice aren't showing up on that other screen. Okay, well, I'll have to fix that.
That was 17.
17. Okay, awesome. You sneak by with no trouble as you see this blonde-haired woman come up to your mom. She announces herself, introduces herself as, hey, Kaylee Cutter of the Bear Report Post. Do you have a quote you could give us for the newspaper? And your mom's already like sort of taken aback by this. You managed to sneak by without anyone noticing you. And you start heading off to these stands. What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
I am looking for something or someone that I've never seen before. Like, I want to see something that will blow my mind. I think Sly is so hungry for new experiences, and she doesn't get them very often, being as sheltered as she is. So she's looking for anything wondrous or someone who looks magical or even knowledgeable to just approach and start a conversation with.
Give me a perception check.
Yeehaw. T.
That is a what did you get again? What was it?
16.
16. Okay. So you see a few things I will be able to point out to you. Of the people in line, there are some peculiar people. You see there's an elf woman here dressed in green garb. There's a really, really big guy who has the nose of a pig instead of a human nose. There's a woman finely dressed sort of in flashy attire behind him. There is a blue elf covered in water that's still like dripping wet. There's some guards over here. And yeah, a whole lot of different characters. There's also the stuff at the stands. They're selling, get your meat pies here, Seer themed meat pies, Seer merchandise, get your Seer. There's a shirt that says, I met the daughter of the Seer, and all I got was this tunic. It's stitched, embroidered in that slogan. It's not printed, it's just stitched. So yeah, there are people here who are authentically here to give thanks and pay homage to the Seer, but there's also people here to make a quick buck.
Yeah, I feel like Sly is very overwhelmed by this in a good way. I think she knew, because of what she's been taught, how impactful that her grandmother's legacy is, but I don't think she's ever expected to see it with her own eyes. And she's like, I don't understand why my mom doesn't want to enjoy this. This sounds great. This is awesome. Everyone's so cool and different. So she's going to walk up to someone further back in line so her mom doesn't see her talking to the people. So whoever's not 1, 2, or 3 in line, she'll talk
1,
to
2, or 3.
there.
That pretty much starts here. So take your pick. Starts about here. The guy with the pig nose, he is third technically.
Cool. The blue person right there.
Okay. If you would like to introduce yourself, Sky.
Yes. So as you walk up, you're going to see this very tall, lanky elf dripping wet. And as you get closer to them, you notice that they turn their head in a peculiar way, kind of like they noticed you and noticed what you were doing and have always had their eye on you in this regard. But they have goggles on. They look very different and from a different plane. It's giving why is this person here? And as you get closer and closer, you see that the turn, the head tilt that they've been doing has gotten more and more drastic. And now as you like get fully up to them, their face is almost like right above your head. Like completely like still standing, but kind of like giving a U
Yeah.
and just looking at you as they then take off their goggles, put it on their head, and they say, "Hello.
Hey.
How are you?"
I'm great. It's Seer's Day. How are you?
"I'm great. Seer's Day is a tradition, and now I get to see you. This might be the best day of my life. Wow. Who are you?"
She looks around to see if her mom is listening, and then
You see,
leans in.
you'll see my character kind of like get all tall again from that bend, get on their tippy toes and point towards where you're looking, like your mom, and make like a long point towards them and say, "Do you want me to get them?"
No.
I can.
No. Secret. This is that
Ah.
we are gonna talk over here privately so that anyone over there doesn't hear us.
Yes, of course.
It's called
We can
being in
talk.
cahoots.
Cahoots. I like that. I could use that. Cahoots. Okay, let's cahoots.
Let's cahoots. I'm Sly.
Let's cahoots. I'm Una.
Sly sticks her hand like straight up because he like if they stood back up to full height, Sly's gonna have to vertically shake your hand.
So you'll see Una take your hand and kind of kneel down, sort of like a knight, and put your like knuckle up to their temple, and then to the other temple, and the water that is dipped onto your hand at that point, they're going to like kind of wave around it with their hand, and they're going to, they're going to cast guidance on you. So you can feel just a little bit stronger in this moment, hoping that, this cahoots, whatever it is, they could possibly help you feel like you could succeed in it, as they don't understand really what this cahoots is. So you'll
Yeah.
feel a little bit stronger, and this water will like kind of like flow around you. You won't feel any sort of like uncomfort, but it feels like the air of a wave on your body as the water's like shifting around you.
I love that. As that happens, I mean, Sly is the last person on the planet who needs more confidence, but like she like puts her shoulders back and goes, "You know what? I am happy that I'm talking to the people because you're the people and you're awesome. I'm so glad I met you."
I feel like it should be noted, May, your character can hear everything that's being said.
Oh, the
Well, I know.
cahoots.
I've thought about turning around. I just didn't want to interrupt.
That's fair.
If I may,
At
Fable will turn around as you guys are having this conversation and making reference to something you said a little while ago. She'll say, "It's not that private, darlings. We can all hear you."
At that moment, you're going to see my character stand right in front of Sly, kind of not right in front of, but like kind of put you behind, and say, "Do you know Sly?"
Why are you wet?
"I am always wet. Why are you dry?" They'll tilt their head to you.
All right, fair enough.
"Yes, fair enough. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Una."
Fable. And she will not, I don't know if Una would notice this, but she will not put her hand out because she doesn't want to touch the wet person. No offense. It's the wetness. It's not you.
None taken. As you know, I think that Una would notice that obviously you're holding back a little bit for some reason or another, and they're quite versed in this, but they aren't sure what kind of verse this is. So they kind of do this little twirl, and you notice that as they do this twirl, they're getting a little bit faster, and the water that is on them, like soaking, they are channeling this to a lower point. Like it's not like a dog where you like flip your hair and it goes everywhere. It's more like the water control is immense, like supreme, in that regard. And as they turn, you're going to see that their whole, like their skin, their hair, their armor, and their weapon and their shield, everything has like a gleam to it. It starts to like change. You see greens and you see like blues and whites kind of like shimmering all about this body. As the water kind of like focuses into a puddle right underneath, like a perfect circle underneath them. And they say, maybe I was too much, but maybe I am not now.
Too much.
I'm Una. This is Sly. As they will put their hand out then. Definitely not dripping
Oh
wet.
no. To me? Oh.
Yes, to you. To you.
Okay, if your hand is dry, then she'll kind of like daintily put a hand out, like, you know, like the vibe is like, oh, like you get to meet me.
Okay, at that
Play.
point, Una's going to take your hand, and like this is a very odd handshake that you've had. It is very up and down, but the arm is like all the way up and all the way down and all the way up and then back to the middle. Like it's very odd, you notice. But you notice that they're trying their best.
You should come by the Fairweather Circus sometime.
Circus? What's that?
Place where you would really fit in, I think.
That's what I was looking for. Good.
Fable? Fable?
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
good.
You see this large fellow with a pig nose is reaching out to Fable. We're almost up. And you see the line has gotten shorter. There's actually
Oh my
just,
god.
one person in front of you and Gideon. How do you respond to this? Are you like racing up to catch your spot again?
Yeah, she'll turn back to the to Sly and to Una and say, talking a bit then, maybe. And she'll kind of just turn on her heel and walk up to where Gideon is.
Okay.
Una will turn to Sly and say, "What is a bit?" That's it.
It's a
Like a place?
subjective amount of time, I think. But also sometimes people call me a bit. I think it's because I'm short. So I'm not sure.
Curious. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Cahoots. And she's now not gonna leave the line. She made a friend, so it's too late. Forever bonded. She's stuck to Una's side. Forever.
At this point, Aaren, can you give me a perception check?
All right.
I think I might have the dice roller fixed now. Let's see if it works.
Let's see. 13.
13.
Is it showing up?
Not at all. That's okay. We'll figure it out. At this point, you do know that you've lost track of your ward. One of the people you're supposed to be watching out for. I would say, Sly, your stealth check has probably expired by now. If you'd like to roll stealth again.
Yeah, I can just stand behind the big guy in front of me.
And the tall, I could also like, could I possibly help with that if
Well,
I'm
technically, you
taller?
already gave them guidance.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
that's
I
true.
rolled a nat 1. How? Oh wait, no, it's a 7.
It's a 7.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was a 1. I got so scared.
And you have guidance.
Oh, I do. Let me add that D4. Thank you for reminding me.
Of course.
And I how do I do that? Where is the D4 button, y'alls?
Bottom left, you can choose a dice.
Oh,
It's
Thank
okay. You don't
where'd the
really
dice
even need
go?
to right now, because you already passed. So, because you're sort of like hiding behind Una, you go unnoticed by Aaren, who's probably looking for you. I'm guessing, Aaren.
Yeah, I'm looking around, just trying to eyeball out where this girl is.
Makes sense. Meanwhile, while you are making a new friend, your mom is being met by an elven messenger from the Prenwood, who is there to deliver a gift. She gives your mom a large cloak and sort of offers her thanks for everything the Seer has done. Fable, you and Gideon probably overhear a little bit of that, but the elf speaks very softly. And it's sort of normal for most elves of the Prenwood, very soft-spoken, very mindful of how they are interacting with the world. Definitely nothing like the sea elf you just met. But you see this interaction. Anyone want to get involved or try to overhear more or anything like that? Otherwise, we'll move on. And Fable, you would be next in line.
I am not going to interrupt or try to listen. She's just fiddling with something in her hands.
Fair enough. She quickly finishes her business, and you guys are next up. Oh, hi. I'm Gideon. This is unsure whether to introduce you or not. Gideon pauses and looks down at you.
Fable.
Fable, we want to offer our thanks for everything the Seer did. She sort of helped us a long time ago. I guess that's it.
Is he still standing there, or does he like walk away when he says that?
He's still standing there, almost looking at you,
Okay.
and you can see like cold sweat coming down off his head.
Oh, poor Gideon. There is something that Fable has not mentioned to Gideon. That's my way of saying I also did not mention this to the DM. But Fable, don't worry. Fable, the thing that she's fiddling with in her hands is this little bone bracelet. And I have a world question is, do we know, like as a general public, do we know if the Seer's daughter or descendants have inherited any of her powers, or do we think it's all around the thing that she had?
Give me a history check.
Oh god. That is not my strong suit, but all right. Oh, 14 though.
You've read in the paper before, in the last 20 years, the royal family and other prominent people have come to this house before. Seer's Day is a new holiday of sorts, but people have come here on this day of the year before, often asking the daughter of the Seer, and her name is Pepper, you would know from what you read in the paper, asking if she would pick up the mantle. It is believed that she has some of her gift, but in the last 20 years, she has refused every time.
Okay. I will try and keep this short. I don't want to waste your time. I know you've got a lot to get to today. Seer once helped us, as Gideon said, and I just she got rid of someone for us, and I was wondering if you could find out if she had really gotten rid of that person, because I've been having really bad nightmares lately. That sounds pathetic saying it out loud, but I need to know. That's all.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did who did the Seer help you with?
She like glances at Gideon. I don't think that probably either they were in this together, but I don't think either of them has really ever talked about what happened to anyone. She saved a bunch of children from a bad wizard or scientist, I don't know, a bad man. Like 20 years ago?
Oh, you... And she takes a moment and she sort of looks at you, and it's a sight when she sees you, you sort of feel like it's that feeling like you've been made. And
No.
oh, you're one of the no, I believe they're gone for good. They yeah, no, the Seer generally was pretty permanent whenever they would do their thing.
Her whole body language just like relaxes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. Sweet thing. Also, if you ever want to come to the Fairweather Carnival, we can get you in probably for free.
Oh, absolutely for free.
Yeah. With that, she thanks you both. And around this time, I would say that you have shown up, Lucian. You are there. You see there is a retinue of guards. They are preparing for your escort's arrival who's on his way here today. One of the people you and these guards have been escorting. Do you wait for that escort to show up, or are you taking this time to sort of engage preemptively?
I think Lucian kind of stands there, and it's one of those where, similar to the picture, the guards are kind of around him, but no one's really talking to him. They kind of talk to themselves and like glance at Lucian, and Lucian is a tall, lightly armored individual, and I think he kind of stands there, kind of solemn, with this like black flowing cape, and he is just staring towards the house, and almost like an unmoving statue. You'd think he was a statue just standing there if it wasn't for the occasional like breath in and out and kind of slight head nod, as he's kind of staring at the woman in front of the house and not really taking his eyes off of them. And he's not approaching as of yet.
Okay, I would say Sly, you being this close as you are making friends with Una, you would absolutely notice this person because of how different they look from the other guards they're standing with. Because they look like, whoop, nope, that's not what I meant to do.
Nothing.
Oh my god!
They
Terrifying!
They look like this. Oh, and it didn't show up. 1 second. Here we go. They look like this. Nope. Never mind.
Whoa.
Damn it. Wrong one. Okay. There we go. That's what I was trying to pull up. There we go. We're good now. They look like this.
I find it terrifying. Sly would find it awesome. Sly can't stop like stealing glances. She hasn't left Una's side, but like now that Una's almost to the front of the line and she would then have to face her mother, she's like, Hey, cahoots.
Cahoots.
don't tell that lady that you met me, okay? And I'll be right back.
Okay, I won't tell Pepper that.
Well, I guess everyone knows her name. Okay, okay. And she like jumps and darts over to the scariest person she's ever seen in her life.
Una will be like watching this happen, but instead of like turning their neck around, like to look, they just shift their entire body so they're always faced forward, and they're just looking like back to the line where Pepper is to keep an eye on you.
I head up to this masked figure, and I'm looking straight up, and I go, "Happy Seer's Day."
The Lucian kind of like glances down. Storyteller, DM.
Mhm.
Do I know who this is?
Give me, I would say, we're going to say a perception check to see what you've heard that maybe you weren't supposed to hear.
Love it. $15.
15. You heard, you've heard, it's actually more what's happening is as they're looking up at you, you remember almost looking up at them a long time ago, laid out on your back somewhere, and this face was looking at you at a similar angle. Not necessarily the demeanor is not there at all, but a similar angle, and you remember hearing something the prince said about a granddaughter. And you didn't, for a moment, you didn't know if he was talking about whether him or his sister, the princess, had some unexpected news or a scandal or something like that. But now it's sort of clicking into place.
Indeed. Happy Seer's Day. What's your name, child?
I'm Sly.
You look just like her, you know.
Who do you mean?
And he kind of gets down on like one knee and kind of meets you kind of more towards your like face-to-face gaze.
Thank you for. Thank you, George.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm here
And
for.
as you stand there and you kind of get a look as he kind of like comes down to like meet you eye to eye, you see the armor is like seemingly barely put together. It's gashed and burned and cut and torn and ripped. You see the skin is very gaunt and dark. You can see scars and lacerations all over. The hilt of the sword is, you'd see almost like it's coming undone a bit. The cloak that he wears is tattered, and he wears this like hardened white mask that covers pretty much the entirety of his face outside of his chin, with the cloak draped over, and that is scarred and gashed and torn and things like that. And he has this kind of like hardness in his eyes that he kind of like sits there for a second and he stares, and you kind of hear the like gravelly but like oddly slow breathing as he kind of takes you in for a second. You look just like your grandmother.
You'll have to keep it a secret.
Hopefully not for long.
She's looking at this person who, in her mind, is the sickest fucking person she's ever seen in her life. Looks so cool. Sly wants to be this person when she grows up. And she goes, I don't know what that means. Can I touch your sword?
That is an odd request. Sure you don't need to speak to your mother first?
Who looks over her shoulder to see how preoccupied her mom is. Her mom would absolutely not want her to do this.
I would say.
By the way,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sly, when you turn around, Una, 2 thumbs up. Like they've heard this whole conversation, and then just no face, just 2 thumbs up.
I was going to say at that same time that Una, you're probably like in line.
Walking
about-
backwards.
Yeah, you're sort of like walking backwards. So I'm going to need a stealth check at disadvantage from Sly.
Dang it.
As eyes are on Una, who is giving you a big thumbs up as you are next to maybe the scariest person here.
Hey, kids, slow down. You're walking backwards. What are you doing?
Pepper and Aaren both see Sly talking to this individual. As Una, it's your turn to talk to Pepper, whatever you want to say.
I turn around. Una turns around. And in that moment, they see Aaren look up and give a nod, like a twist of the head, and then a nod and a bow, noticing like that they belong here and they've helped, like they feel like they fit in. As then, after they do that, they lift up, they turn to Pepper, and they will go in for a hug to Pepper.
Aaren,
And as they go ahead.
go ahead. Aaren, is there anything from you when this happens?
Immediate for the interception. Just that's not gonna fly. We can't do that here.
Then Una will
6 feet
then
apart.
like you kind of like separate, but Una's arms can't help but close, and they close around you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they'll
You
close
are
around
damp.
you.
You are very damp. Nice to meet you.
Do you not accept me for me?
I accept you in all the wholeness of which you have presented yourself. I'm just saying that I was not prepared to have damp clothing. That's all.
You do not need to worry then, friend.
Right.
As they take off the arm, they take away, not grappled. They stop hugging, and as you notice that like the water that you felt, it's warm. It's like kind of like not bubbly, but like there's like a sensation that you feel towards it, like it's moving. And as they back up, the water like literally gets like taken away from your clothing and is stuck to me. Like your clothing was dry as can be, and you don't actually have any of that like remaining like wetness on you. So you're a little bit curious about that, I would assume.
I have to
But-
ask for logistical purposes. I'm
Yeah.
assuming Aaren wearing full armor on a sunny day is probably sweating. Did that sweat stay there, or did it go with the water?
It's a little bit. Some is left behind. Some of it's still on there. Some of it went with the
Okay.
water. It's an
We're all in
uncomfortable
agreement
feeling.
on this.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fine. I
uncomfortable.
am
Okay.
totally fine with that. Yes, it's more so like if anything like mixed with the water as in like if the sweat was about to drop off their body, then that's the kind of that. But if it was like connected, it's not like there's not like anything weird happening there. It's just like whatever is kind of like just pieces or little drops of that. So that happens, and then they would like to, as Aaren is blocking, they kind of like turn their entire body sideways to kind of see past you, and they turn their neck up to you, Aaren, and say, "May I speak to Pepper now?"
Why, of course, but from a socially acceptable distance.
Pepper is currently bolting past you both as you are having this exchange.
Can I stop them from bolting? Like just put my hand out and say something in response to that?
Yeah. Yes. What's like I feel like this would be like a slick check in some other system. I think that what is that? Kids on bikes.
Can I tell you the sentence that I would say, and you can roll with that?
Sure. What is the sentence you're saying?
All I wanted to say is, Theo asked me to do this.
Okay. That's good to know that you're going to say that.
Yes.
I want to first. Can you give me a charisma check?
Yes.
Now, charisma is how you express your body language,
Yeah.
and you are trying to stop someone. So I feel like this is the right judgment here, but I want to remind you that you are a 6.5 foot tall sea elf wearing full armor, and
Yeah.
they are a small halfling.
Yes, of course. I think I got a 10. I rolled it on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 10.
Oh, it's 10. Got it. You just come narrowly close to almost closelining.
No.
That does not happen though, as she stops and you return to what you were saying. Theo wanted
Yes.
me to do this.
Wanted
you to what?
Again, if you guys could see this situation, Aaren, like the legs of Una are facing towards Aaren, and the side of their body is kind of like facing towards Pepper. So it looks very odd, like an L shape kind of thing that is happening. And then they move their legs kind of underneath themselves and stand up and say, I've never been here. As they look down, they kind of like move their like foot in the puddle and put it back down on land. But I was asked that if I should ever be on land, I should give you a hug from Theo.
Theo asked you to do that?
Yes. So they put their arms out. Just, may I complete this quest?
Yes. They look up at you, Aaren, sort of worried.
Listen, you can complete your quest in a second. All right. What's your name?
I am Una Virat.
Una, that is a lovely name, Una. But if you could give this will spell just 1 second. There is very clearly a pressing matter to attend to, and we will happily figure out a way to accomplish this grand adventure that you have been sent on. All right.
This hug will be the least pressing.
Right. Pepper, what's going on? Darling, you looking a little...
And she sort of looks over at Sly, who, I will be right back. And
all right, let's go.
She steps away and she bolts off towards Sly. One moment. She races over. Sly, what is your full government name?
Oh, please, Mom, why? I'm in front of my new friends. It is Annalise Thistlespell.
Did you have a middle name?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's fine.
If she had one, it would be Theo.
That makes sense. We will go with Annalise Theo Thistlespell. And she comes over to you. What did I tell you?
Hey, Mom. I just really wanted to just meet someone, and look how cool everyone is. And I just thought maybe if I said hi and like showed people like it wouldn't hurt anybody to know that I'm alive, you know, and I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not
Your
hurt. No one's
room
hurt.
now.
But Mom, it's Seer's Day. I was gonna get you see the
I
tunic?
will not repeat myself.
I think Aaren would show up to escort her.
Oh, that's serious. Oh shit.
Oh, fudge.
Damn, not security.
Dang.
Yeah, I look at Lucian, and there's like a lot of regret there. Like, she wanted to have this conversation. It was interesting, and she was invested. And clearly, he knows something, and he knows something she doesn't, and that's her favorite kind of thing to know. So her being walked back to her room in front of everyone, like a spurned pet, is not her favorite thing right now. But she will look at Lucian and say, "Happy Seer's Day. It's nice to meet you." And she's gonna walk back with Aaren. She's not gonna cause a scene.
As you go to turn, Sly,
Yeah?
and he like reaches into a pouch and he pulls out this like old
Sword, 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 sword.
coin.
Dang it.
And it's like this golden coin, and he just kind of flips it to you. Happy Seer's Day.
She pockets it and she'll walk off with Aaren.
And then Lucian immediately turns and looks at Pepper. Pepper,
Louis, was it?
what a wonderful daughter you have. Bold, ambitious, daring, wanting a sense of purpose. A lot of things you're not.
Why exactly are you here? Is it just to belittle me?
No, you do that on your own. I'm here as part of her will. We're escorting someone, and I figured I would come pay my respects. You know, to your mom.
I know you had dealings with my mother. I understand she made you what you are. But that is where the connection between you and me, and more importantly, my daughter, ends.
Pepper, you don't seem to understand that fate, destiny, it charts its own course. And as much as you try to meddle, it's inevitable.
We'll see about that. And she storms away.
You do her no favors. As she kind of like runs off.
She just looks back at you. Sly, you're being escorted past Una and
Arms wide open.
Fable.
She just waggles her fingers.
With arms wide open.
Bam.
I
I am
Someone had
singing
to.
Creed.
This close to getting through a stream without Creed.
No,
Una
0
is
days
singing
without a
Creed.
Creed reference.
Possible.
Yes.
Start the counter
Yes.
chat. It's
We-
happening every week.
I am saying goodbye to everyone. Like, if she introduced herself to anybody, she is also saying goodbye to that person. And you're like, it's so good to meet you. Okay, bye, Una Varat. Bye, Fable. Bye, Gideon. Bye, guys. See you
All
stay.
right,
And like,
princess.
as she's being
Thank
like,
you. All right, now, come on.
Pepper goes, gives you your hug, Una. Come, let's get this
Oh,
over with.
really?
Yeah. She's like, come on.
And as that, so the hug happens, and you said that Pepper was like cooking all day and like making stew and like you know, doing a lot of things during the day, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the hug, obviously, same thing that Aaren experienced. Obviously, they're like dripping with water, and the water like is felt in the hug, but as they like, and they'll say while embracing, Theo helped me, and I helped Theo. If you or Sly ever need help, Una is there for you, and always will be. And they will stop, you know, like pull away from the hug, and if there were any like little like nicks on the clothing caught by like hangers or anything like that on their clothing, the water will have mended it, as Una's character did cast mending on this touch. So
Sure.
all of those little like things, any like bits that got caught during the day.
I imagine it like the water from your body sort of like helped threads that were already there find their way back into the proper
Exactly.
stitching and tighten.
Yes.
In a very strange feeling. It's like a lingering hug to get this done. That lingering hug, by the time that ends, Sly, you are back inside. Aaren, are you staying with her? Or are you like in, door shut, and then back to Pepper?
I think is going to close the door and leave, but before then, he's gonna just real quick. Annalise,
Come on, not you
I-
two.
listen.
Aaren, it's Sly. You know
Listen.
it's cool.
I know.
'Cause I'm slick and I'm sneaky and I'm. Come on.
Listen, little bit. Your mother cares about you greatly. She does. All right? And you just need to understand that with your family comes a lot of responsibility and expectations. And she's worried about you being ready for all of that, all right? She's not trying to be hard on you, just to be on your case. I want you to know that there are going to come times where you're going to have to make decisions for yourself. But you need to know that in your heart you're making the right choices. Okay? And you need to be smart about the things that you're doing. Okay?
Okay.
That's it. I'll handle Spice. She'll calm down. All right. But it's a stressful day, okay?
Oh, so you use her nickname, but you won't call me
It's
Sly the
different.
Great One,
It's
upcoming
different.
hero,
I
ready to
call
save the
her-
realm.
No, I call her Spice because I've known her for. Listen, we don't need to get into that. But just stay up here for a little while. I'll make sure the case is clear for you. All right?
Can you bring me a meat pie?
Fine, troublemaker. I got you.
Thank
It's like-
you.
Close the door.
I love them so much.
I'm gonna cry.
Aaren, as you turn around, that hug is ending with Una,
Oh,
and possibly the worst thing has happened, where that reporter overheard that interaction between Sly and her mom, and at this point, that crowd that was sort of orderly in conduct is starting to swarm as they are hearing about the Seer having a granddaughter.
I am immediately going into damage control mode, and I am interjecting myself into the crowd. And
Okay.
I'm so sorry, everybody, but we're going to need a moment to postpone things, and we will resume activities at a certain notice. We just need to take a quick break.
There's this loud clamor from everybody. People getting excited, getting closer to everything that's happening. For the rest of you who are there, Lucian, Fable, and Una, anything from you, or are you sort of like, okay, this is a bit much now, and you're sort of like exiting this stage?
I think for Lucian, as he's watching this and he's hearing the tabloid reporters like mentioning a granddaughter and this and that and writing it all down, there's this like smirk, not a smirk. There's a soft smile of almost like vindication on Lucian's face, and then he kind of glances at the house where Sly is, and then it kind of softens a bit with like a knowing of what that means for them. But he doesn't interject or get involved because he knows that his being itself would add so much more to the tabloids, and he does not care to be in the limelight. So he's still just waiting.
Anything from you, Fable or Una?
I am going to gently put a hand on Gideon's arm and just kind of like subtly guide him backwards. She's not like afraid of the crowd. Of course, they're like used to being around and in front of a crowd, but this is also not. They're not like super paranoid. No need to like hide, but they're also not trying to draw attention either. But she's not quite like turning and walking away. She's watching what is happening here.
Yeah, as you're backing up, you see I'm trying to say this right. As you're backing up, you get to this sort of like stand that's selling like toys and stuff like that. And there's actually a small kid there who you almost bump into, and they look up at you, their eyes wide, and they hold up a copy of the newspaper. Can I have your autograph?
Oh, sweets, of course you can. And does he have something to sign with? You know what? It's okay. I'll pull a pen out of my bag. She has a little bag on at her hip. What's your name?
Frederick.
Frederick. You, Frederick. Fly high, follow your dreams. Fable.
You're like writing that on the margins. Are you writing on the margins, or are you writing
No,
like
no,
right
no, no.
over the article? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, across the words, yep.
Yeah. This kid doesn't need to know about what's happening in the elven politics of the region, so you just like scribble through that. Okay. With that done, you're able to make your escape. Anything from you, Una?
Yes. Una is standing right where they left Una, kind of just like in their puddle, and like doesn't really know where to go from here, but is sure that right here next to these two is exactly where Una needs to be. And so
Okay.
they aren't saying anything, but they will be supportive in whatever regard that is.
This clamor and noise of the crowd eventually finds some orderly fashion, but it maintains some chaos for a while until you hear this loud, like, trumpeting noise, and a carriage pulls up, and from those guards that are stationed over there with where Lucian was, arrives from a carriage a very well-dressed gentleman who is also a tiefling. He is wearing like a small like crown. He is dressed to the nines, and as he moves through, the guards are sort of helping the crowd disperse as he's sort of escorted towards Pepper. Now, Sly, you're just only able to watch any of this from the window, so you're not getting the details. To make a long series of events short, he asked Pepper if she would take up the mantle of the Seer. She says no, as she does every time. And then he asks, I understand you can't blame me for trying. Would it be all right then for you to join me at the palace? we are having negotiations with the elves of the Prenwood, and I think while you might not be the seer, having you there would go a long way to remind them why we're at peace. And it's sort of an offer she can't refuse, so Pepper agrees. And with that, festivities continue on for the day, but her business with the crowd is pretty much done, and she ends up retreating inside. You are forced from your bedroom to not partake in the festivities because of your behavior earlier, but you do see, maybe much to maybe much to your disappointment, you see that there are actually fireworks going off now, and there's like dancing going on, and you're just stuck inside.
No, my worst nightmare. How could this be? How could you do this to the Nicki Minaj? I have to go to there.
keep.
From the window, she's like definitely has not left. Like even the second Aaren closed the door behind him, she's been at the window like this, watching Seer's Day. If anyone waves at her, she waves back. If anyone calls out to her, she calls back. Like she's wants so badly to be a part of it. And I think she knows I know she didn't hear the conversation, but her mom has talked to him before and has said no before. So she knows what happened, and I think she's getting a little upset.
Thank you for the raid.
Yay, thank you. Where are they raiding from?
Yeah.
The Dirty
Dirty
Rollers
Rollers
RPG.
RPG.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
That's our first raid ever.
Amazing, we
Woo!
did it! Welcome
Sorry,
to
Automatic's coming for all of y'all saying dirty. I'm trying to prove all these messages.
As the, I'm sorry, Sly, what were you saying? You were sort of just watching everything unfold?
Yes, and she is getting upset because she wants what her mom is being offered. She wants the chance to help people. Her whole life, she's been raised to believe that her grandmother is a hero, and so she thinks it's like her legacy to follow in those footsteps, and she wants to be a hero too. And to keep getting told she's not ready, I think is like, this is a bit of a boiling point, seeing fireworks in the distance.
Yeah. You're probably fuming then when you find yourself inside later. The crowd has died down, people have gone home, and you're still here. Aaren, thank you so much for your help today.
Darling, you ain't never have to thank me for this.
No,
You're right.
it was very good that you were there. Things could have been so much worse.
All right. I hand Sly a meat pie.
It's like her fourth meat pie. She still takes it. And she's chomping angrily. She's chomping like she's hoping she does get an upset stomach. You know what? Fuck it. And she's like overstuffing herself angrily.
The Crown Guard are going to be escorting me back to the palace tonight. As the prince asked me to be there. Would you mind staying here to watch after Sly?
I want to go.
She doesn't even look at you.
Pepper, can I talk to you for a second?
Not about this.
All right. Yeah, listen, I can stay. But on one condition. You gotta share a meat pie with me and a glass of wine.
Traitor.
Roll a charisma check. You can make it persuasion if you'd like.
Easy. With a -1.
Oh no.
It's okay.
so
Your
glad
muscles
you
speak
passed.
all the charisma you need, buddy.
Well, I mean, do
Yeah.
I get advantage for
There's different
our
kinds.
previous relationship? You know, or past?
Given today is kind of tumultuous, I'm gonna say it balances out.
Hot and heavy.
Fair enough. Persuasion.
Looks like something else is stewing in the kitchen.
That's gonna be an 8.
8. Maybe another time. I think I've had my full today.
Enough. Well, I'll be up when you get back.
If you could help bring some of my stuff out to their coach. I just have a few bags over there.
No problem.
I think Sly is doing the thing that she's like heavily sighing, as like teens do, to get their parent to ask them what is wrong. So like around chunks of meat pie, she's like,
Aaren, do you go get to take care of the bags?
Hearing Sly's classic sigh for attention, I definitely go to grab the bags.
Okay. You head out, and as you do, yes, I hear you. I hear you grumbling. I've seen you staring at me and hearing you huff and puff. You can't come with me.
fine.
I don't even want to go. It's not going to be fun. I will be wearing a dress that is uncomfortable. I will be sitting in chairs that are uncomfortable because they are made to look fancy instead of soft. And I will be bored out of my mind as people talk about things that have nothing to do with me.
But they kind of do have something to do with us, right?
No.
Didn't a certain someone ask you to do a certain something? And if you don't want to, I respect your decision. I'm not going to try and convince you again. I swear. I swear. I know that you don't want to be the seer. Proposition. Duh! And she's going to jump on top of the table and do jazz hands to prove to her mother that she should be the seer.
She looks at you. I'm not going to have you roll persuasion only because I don't think it would do any good.
Oh, it wouldn't. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
But
DC 25.
yeah. She sort of looks down. Being the seer didn't leave her with a lot in life. You know, I barely got to know her. She was busy all the time. The most I got to know her, I think, was the day she died. I haven't told you how that happened, have I?
Well, no, but we learned about most of it in school.
What did school tell you?
She died saving everyone. It was a hero's death.
She came back from a battle, we don't know with who. Burned. Her eyes gouged out. It took her 3 days to die. I don't want that for you, and I don't want that for me. So, I'll go to this stupid event at the palace. I will do my part in playing a figurehead or a chess piece or window dressing. I don't know how you would want to describe it. And then I will come home. and we will
But
find
what if-
something better to do with our lives.
But what if we just used the deck and made it to where everything is okay? I think I can do it. I feel it. And she means that with like her whole body, but also she is like 3 foot
She
nothing,
didn't
very
want
young.
this for us either. You know that, right? I told you this. I promised her I would never touch that deck, and I'm keeping that promise.
But that's you. I'm saying I volunteer. Donna. You don't think I can? And I think for the first time, it's not like Sly is thinking that her mom is just trying to be a mom. I think she's thinking her mom doesn't believe in what she's capable of.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, dang. Please, please, please.
Feel it for your own mental health.
21.
Oh no.
Not only does she not think you can, she doesn't even think you know where to find the deck. She doesn't think you know about the box under her bed or the false bottom in that box.
I'm getting to be an age where I am really starting to understand what I can do. And what I can do with what I can do is help people. Isn't that more important than everything?
There's so many more things that are important. What was important to me was you, growing up, being there for you. This nonsense, the life of a hero, I think you'll grow out of it eventually.
Tall as I'm gonna get. Please let me do this. I'm glad you were here for me. I am. I had a great childhood. I'm so happy. I can do more.
Look, she kind of rubs her temples. We'll talk about this when you're older, okay? Or at the very least, we'll talk about it when I come home.
Yeah.
Make sure you lock up. And
Yes, ma'am.
she heads outside. Sly, that leaves you in a pretty empty house. Aaron's probably helping her get loaded up, making sure that everything's good with the guys. Aaren, how long do you stay at the house this night? Or do you... I know there's not a bed comfortable enough for you to sleep in here, but not one of your stature.
Right, Aaren is definitely prepared for this. So normally it's, camping out in the kitchen or the dining area and just reading his Wizarding 101 book, essentially. But I think he's going to spend a bit of time just making sure the grounds are secure and then just trying to have one last conversation with Pepper before she departs.
George, real quick,
Mhm.
can you just check the message I sent to you?
Yep.
It was a while ago.
Yes,
Great.
absolutely.
Thank you.
So you go to check on Pepper, and what you find is outside as she's getting into the wagon, still in the exact same spot where he was left is Una, still standing outside.
You have got to... God's help me. Una.
He hasn't left. Pepper says to you.
All right.
Everyone
yeah.
else has left. Why hasn't he left?
I will, Spice, I'll figure it out. Don't you worry. All right? Don't worry about anything. I got it. Okay?
Okay.
You...
What?
You look... I can't wait for you to get back.
I can't wait for her to grow up.
Thing is, I think she's growing up faster than we both think.
I'm not so sure.
Listen, I've known her since she was walking around in diapers. Okay? People grow, people change. I mean, remember when we first met? We were both very different people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I remember that.
You know, I'm just saying. But listen, things will find its own way of working out. It will. I don't know how, but it will.
I hope you're right. Is there something we can do for you, Una?
Yeah. What's going on?
Hello.
Do you have a place that you live at? Like an address? That's not here?
Well, no, I don't know how to do that, but seeing as this is my first time on land, I think that if you escort me to the sea, I could find my way to where I've been swimming for a while.
Sly
But
is gonna lock up on her own. Can you help him find his way back? He seems nice enough.
I will make sure that they find their way to the great ocean and to the sea breeze, and I will guide them. Yes.
Thank you.
Am I an issue?
No,
you are.
Aaron's gonna show you how to get back home.
I may look like a curse, but I promise I've seen many curses, and I am not one of them.
Well, we'll have to trade stories about that. You go on and head inside, and I'll show you.
Trade? They'll, like, pat themselves down. Okay. Let's trade. I learned about cahoots today. Do you know what that is?
The cahoot. Is that like a game?
Yeah, you're supposed to say,
Aaron,
hey, cahoots.
Aaron, I
And
gotta
then-
go. You
Yes,
you
Spice.
got this?
Yeah, I got this, Spice.
Okay,
I'll be seeing you.
later. She hops in the carriage, guards close it up, and she heads on her way as you guys start trading, I guess?
Tell me about
she-
this game called Cahoots, Una, as we walk inside.
Well, I don't
You're
know much
walking
about
inside,
it.
or are you
but-
helping them get to the sea?
I need a break. we're
Okay.
gonna take a break, and then I will figure out how to get you to the sea, whatever that means.
Okay.
Well, perfect.
You seem nice enough. Just don't leave puddles everywhere.
Oh, no, the water stays with me. It is one with who I am.
I'm sure it does.
Yes. Also, you and Pepper get along well. Has there been love?
What?
Has there been love
Like a?
between you two?
I mean, what do you? I mean, that's we.
Do you not know what love is?
Do I not know what? Here's well, well.
So there
it's-
is a ritual that could take place when you find your mate.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to explain more, or
You know, I think I got that one. I've known Pepper since I was like a teenager. That's when we both met. Her and I are around the same age. So her mother helped
Very
me out
young.
when I was in a it helped me out when I was in a tough spot, and that's how I got to know the family. So we are just close friends.
you know? I think that we could be close friends if you gave me a try.
Sure, Una. Sure.
That you would be my second now on land. I like land friends.
Well, I appreciate being in such an exclusive club. Now, let us sit down and after a long day and figure out how to get you back to the ocean. Whatever
Of
that
course.
means.
Well, I don't actually have a home there, but
You do what
I
now?
can. No, well, I sort of don't have a home like you see here, and they like pat the wall or the whatever the railing of this house is, wherever they are.
Mhm.
There is no shape. I create shape myself. For where I am is home.
Mhm.
And they do like, it's very like they touch the house, they touch their chest, and they like hold in and like close their eyes and kind of like think and like grow and spread. See? As they spread open their arms, see? Home.
Right.
It can be here.
Home is where the heart is. Right. Okay. So we got to find you a place to stay.
Elsewhere, Sly,
Howdy.
you are watching from the front window as your mom's carriage leaves without you. What are you doing?
Something not smart, I think. I think she's. I don't see any other place for her to go in this moment than directly to under her mother's bed, to where the box with a false bottom with something else in the wee bottom is. The thing I'm not supposed to touch. The thing I'm not supposed to know about.
Interesting.
Sorry. I feel so bad about what's about to happen.
This was supposed to be episode 7. No.
You do find that box. One moment. Getting out the box. Let me make sure. Getting out the box on your mom's bed. You open it, and inside is that deck of tarot cards.
I'm so scared. My real person hands are shaking. But Sly, I think, is actually very calm and cool and collected. I think she has thought about this moment 1,000 times, maybe more. To her, she's like, well, I tried asking nicely a lot. It didn't work. And I have been reading the papers. I know what's going on. Something needs to be done.
Do you want to fill anyone else in for those who didn't read the paper?
Oh, sure. There's like murders going on.
Murders?
No, the murders. The killer. To her, living in a place with nothing but peace, and then having things slowly slip backwards into more and more peril when she can prevent it in her head, is unacceptable. I think she is going to like reach out. Her hand hovers over the cards, and nearly every single day of her life, her mom has said something about how we don't touch the cards. Like, even offhandedly. Like, if she drops a basket of apples, she's like, and that's why we don't touch the cards. You know, and she goes about her life knowing not to touch them. Sly is not that way. Softly into herself, she says, I know you promised you wouldn't do this, but I didn't make that promise. And she grabs the deck.
Okay. You have the deck. Then what?
I don't know if she knows what she should do with it. Does it feel like anything different? She hasn't even like turned over a card yet. Like, does it feel like anything, like arcane energy, psionic energy, maybe, like anything in this deck just touching it?
Give me an insight check. 14. The deck is, well, it's certainly creepy looking.
Oh. Yeah, it is.
Oh.
You don't feel anything magical about it, but there's this like, there's a hesitation, and you've been told not to do this for so many years. But there's also a part of you that's like screaming that this is the right thing to do. But you're really in between those, so you can make your own choices.
I think
who needs a plot MacGuffin, right?
I think she's been telling herself her whole life, don't touch it because you're not supposed to touch it. But again, it's in her nature to be contrarian and to go against what she is told to do if she doesn't think it's right. So she doesn't think her mom's right. She thinks people need her help. So she sees the back of the deck of cards and goes, okay. Oh, there's a little buddy. Just a little skull buddy. Nothing to worry about here. Just a little eyeball in your skull, spider. Okay. Let's see. And she's just going to turn one over.
Okay. You do turn one over.
Yeah.
The card you turn over...
I'm so scared.
...is... Let's see... It is... It is the card that's labeled the Tail Spinner.
Oh, that should be fine. Right? Like a storyteller?
Yeah. Like a storyteller.
Oh, no. I've made a massive mistake. Oh, no.
It's like a storyteller of a kind. It oftentimes, this card does signify that stories are beginning, or sometimes it means they're sort of, tail spinning and they're coming to an end, sometimes violently. But stories, every story that ends is another story that begins.
I'm terrified looking at it, but I think Sly would be like, okay, everything's fine. I'm just gonna put that back right there, and no one knows I touched it, and no one's hurt.
You do, you see the deck is starting to glow.
Oh, no.
It glows and then it crackles, lightning arcing out of it. The lightning lights up the room that you're standing in, echoing through. How are you reacting to this? What do you do next?
She does a double back handspring, Your Honor.
Sort of just like recoils back.
Yes, she does her little halfling flip backwards.
Recoil back as this energy starts sparking, flying curving about the room. The sparks fly up, and you hear thunders poof, as the ceiling above you shatters upwards. Energy from this deck is being released in all directions, and you hear something that sounds like spinning, like wind, like a cyclone, but it's coming from the middle of this room. And I think that's where we can take our break, and when we come back, we will start with the intro.
George,
Oh my God! Intro time, baby! Intro! Intro's coming! First episode!
We will keep this break
Yes!
short. We will be gone for just 5 minutes, and then
I'm
when we're
so
back,
scared, y'all.
we will jump into our intro. That's how you guys will be seeing us return, is with
Oh, George
Nobody
makes
leave.
really good intros. Don't leave.
Makes
Very
it 10
good.
minutes. We'll be gone for 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. So
Please
don't
say,
go
go get a
anywhere.
See you in
Ghelfi.
10.
See you soon.
Set a timer.
Okay, and we are back, and finally we can get to the intro of our show. The players have promised to keep themselves quiet, so that way they don't disrupt it for the rest of us, as I assume they will be freaking out. Without further ado, the new intro of our show.
Worry in your mind, fear is how it starts. Unsure of what you'll find, it could tear you apart. You take a leap of chance, you break your mother's oath now. Macabre is the dance, and set free are the ghosts. Will the card save us here? Will it spell out our dooms? Only one thing is clear, we face fears and fortunes. Fears and fortunes, the cards don't ever lie. There's only 14 ghosts, but a million ways to die.
A million?
A million!
What do you mean
insane.
a million?
That was insane.
That
So
was
yeah, huge shout out
Great.
to Karis Alexandra for
Yes!
helping us with the
queen.
animations for that.
What?
Of course, Crisby
My
for doing the
queen.
amazing tarot cards.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the character art done, and she finished the NPCs, and I was like, "Can we do this? Can we do this animated intro?" I was trying to source someone for this, and she's like, "Oh, I can do something like this," and she gave me the cells, and I learned how to animate over the weekend. That was fun. That's my
Incredible.
first time, so cool.
You did
I
an
learned something
amazing
new.
job.
Phenomenal. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have
So
goosebumps.
me too.
that's where that's basically how everything goes down. There is a violent explosion as this vortex opens up and crackling lightning breaks through the ceiling. You see the cards fly up from the deck and start spiraling about the room, and from them you see spirits rushing out of them. They look different, all of them. There's over a dozen. You see flying out in every direction, and they rip through the ceiling, and then the last spirit that leaves the deck is a flaming skull covered in green flame. Green flame! You know I had to. And as this skull comes out, it sets the room on fire.
Oh,
The ceiling is now on fire. Sly,
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
what would you like to do?
Aaren! She's screaming for Aaren. And she's in the kitchen. Is there anything in her immediate vicinity, like a something on the tea kettle that she can just any type of water, liquid to try and stop the fire?
You grab the tea kettle and splash it up. It does very little to the now growing flames that are moving across
Oh, no.
the
Oh, God.
ceiling beams of the roof. Aaren, you're outside. You were talking, and then the next minute you heard an explosion, and you saw this, the craziest fireworks you've ever seen, of screeching banshees and ghosts flying overhead. And you look back and you see that Pepper's house is on fire.
Right. So I think Una would
Right.
immediately see a shift where there's just this look of when Aaren officially gets locked into work, and everything just gets dead serious. There's no charm. There's no twang. It's just dead serious. And Aaren looks at Una and says, "Fine, Sly, get her out of here right now. Go." And will. What is the closest window to the second floor?
to the second floor?
Yeah. Or did this happen on this happened on the second?
This
floor?
happened on the first floor. Technically, this is only a one-floor house.
Okay, gotcha.
It is a very quaint building.
Okay, gotcha. Then Aaren is going to snap his fingers, and then a dagger is going to appear in his offhand, and he is just going full sprint into the house to try to find her.
Okay, you race in. Sly.
Real quick,
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry, I was muted. At that same time, you're going to notice, Aaren, this is quite shocking, especially for what you've experienced for Una, but like the seriousness is not lost on Una, and if anything, there's a speed and a strength that you sense next to you as everything that you're doing, like whether you're breaking in or like opening up a door, Una is matching you in that regard. Is serious, is locked in,
Love to see.
has that energy, and you have this sense of like, who is this person? Because this isn't the person that I've been talking to. It's very odd. Sorry, continue and do whatever you would like, Aaren, of course.
Yeah.
You guys race in. You see this sort of sparking deck, this sparking energy of green light, and the flames. By the way, the flames are no longer green, but the flames that are burning the building are just very real, normal flames that are glowing yellow and red, and the room's quickly filling with smoke. The lightning at this point, as you guys rush in, is starting to die down and fade away. As it does, it just leaves a bunch of tarot cards spread out all over the ground.
52 card pickup. Sorry. I do need to pick up those cards. I don't know that they're coming, so I did call out for Aaren, but after I noticed that the water's not working, I'm like, oh, I've just set my family legacy home ablaze. Better make it worth it, and I go to grab all the cards I can.
Okay. So Aaren, you and Una come in. You see Sly scrambling on the ground, grabbing cards. Sly, give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy. Please roll better than you've been rolling all night. There we go, dirty 20.
Chat, I heard the response about the effects drowning out Daniel. Daniel, if you could raise your gain a little bit, because I have you on max on my end,
Okay.
but I did lower the effects some as well, so hopefully that helps everybody. But I'm sorry, what did you roll? I missed it.
Dirty 20.
Oh, dirty 20. So you get all of the cards. Actually, you rolled a 14, which is perfect because there are 14 major arcana in this deck, and you managed to grab all of them, scoop them up with the minor arcana. The minor arcana didn't do anything when the deck blew apart. It was just the major arcana that sort of scattered about the room. You pick up all of them, and the room's filling with smoke. Una, Daniel,
Yes.
Sly.
Una,
What do?
Immediately, if I may, I was told by Aaren exactly what to do. This duty is as important as any other duty that they've ever tried to muster. So, noticing the flames, they're actually not noticing the flames, more like just a peek, but less interested. As their sights are focused on Sly, they're going to first thing first, kind of like put this kind of like watery veil around them as they like pick them up.
Okay.
And shield them from any fire as much as they can. And you're going to, as you get picked up, like the water that you've felt, kind of like goes around your body and kind of like makes this like mask almost around your face, where the water is kind of like flowing still, but you can breathe. With every breath, you breathe out, and there's no like an opening. It's like every bubble that you need to breathe out pops open, so there's always a protective layer there, and you don't feel like you're suffocating. As I am then just trying to see if I can get out with them as fast as possible. Like
The window's right there.
I will definitely jump
Grab
out the
her
window.
and just
I will
out
use
the
my
window.
back. Yes, out, and I will, if I may, I would like to make this look really cool, and do a roll out of this window, and stand up after I land it.
Got it.
All of that to then say, you see on Una's face, there's no emotion. There's no like, it is all like a duty. It's like something like clicked in them, and they are absolutely someone who has done their job. And then you see them kind of like ease back into themselves. It's kind of unnerving. They ease back in themselves and they say, "Are you okay?"
Okay, are you okay?
Actually, hey, Cahoots.
Cahoots!
As they set them down.
Hugs around your leg. As soon as you put her down, a big ol' like grateful hug around your leg. You feel something warm pulse against like probably the side of your thigh, like, and it's her necklace. It glows green for a moment, and that is gonna boost you as well. You'll probably feel appropriately brave. Like you'll feel like your duty
Ooh.
was accomplished as I cast guidance for you as well.
Aw, thank you. Cahoots. With that, I then turn around and I say, I would just say, "You must stay safe. Protect my friend. I will be back."
Friend?
You, as they jump right back into that same window that they jumped out of.
I like to think you went out one window and then go in the other.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that works.
thoroughly,
That's exactly it.
which helps get a lot of fresh air in to the blazing inferno. Aaren, you're standing in your friend's family home. It's looked better. The fire,
no.
because it's in the roof, bits of wood and insulation and things like that are falling and starting secondary fires around the home.
I am going to grab the open box that is empty and take that off of the bed.
Got it.
And then, can I make an Arcana check to see if there's any other presence in here?
In the house, you mean?
Yeah, like any other magical essence or anything like that that I can feel in the area.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
That's gonna be a 9.
You know, her cooking was always magical. And that, but that kettle's gotta be like 300 degrees right now. That pot over the burning stove in the burning house, probably, I mean, it's probably magical, but definitely dangerous. Probably not worth it.
So I think in that moment, Aaren knows things have definitely gone awry and says, "Una, do you know any way of taking out these flames?"
Of course. Using in that moment, kind of like gathering up and garnering and creating water. As they do, you see all of the water, how it was in a puddle before at their feet. They've now, like, it's all off of them, and they have started to like control it into like some sort of orb and a wave, and you see it shaping, and you see it splitting, and you see it kind of like growing and like convulsing smaller and smaller. For it to then, I would like to like try and kind of like make it shoot towards all the flames that you see in this vicinity at the same time in one like kind of like burst, if I could.
That makes complete sense. Give me a survival check, because I would say Una's probably doesn't have the most familiarity with fire, given their place of origin.
It was hold on, just getting my phone. Survival.
Yep.
Okay, I rolled it. Oh, this is pretty good. 21.
21. You quickly see, as you're doing this, your ability to control water will work. It's not going to work with this quantity of water. The amount of fire in this room is too high. Not only are you going to lose the water that you brought with you, which I assume is precious, but you yourself will probably be in danger if you stay here.
Okay. We need.
Talk to
Do
me.
you
Let me know
have?
what you got?
Do you have more water, or is there a way that we can? Let me think. As they. Go ahead.
Listen, if you don't got the water for it, then we just need to get out. If you don't have the magic for it, we just need to leave.
I have not enough.
It's all right.
I'm
Come on.
sorry.
Come on, out the window. Let's go.
Okay. Is there a third window?
There is not. But you just
There is
thoroughly,
now.
because between the both of you, really big people, you just thoroughly, these windows are gone. But it doesn't matter, because honestly, the insurance probably isn't going to find out about that after the house burns down. You guys stumble outside. Sly, as they were inside trying to see if they could salvage the house, you're looking off in the direction of, if I can for a moment, I'm going to bring up, one moment. I'm going to bring up our world map again. This is the Seer's house. The path that this stuff has taken, you see Oakrim in the distance is, things don't look good from this distance. You see the fields along the way to Oakrim. Well, let's just say they've had better days. So it might
Did I
not
do
just
that?
be your house that's in danger.
Did I do that?
There will be a moment where Unas kind of like is coming over to Sly, puts their hand on your back, and like comfortably, but like kind of like in an asking way, but you can definitely move their hand if you want to, would like to kind of like shield your eyes from this and say, this is not your fault. This is much more magic that became uncontrollable. I have seen this wave. It is not you. Please.
You cover her eyes, you said?
Yeah. Kind of like to just have you focus on the words. You can
Yeah.
move them freely. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that would be like
No,
what they
I
would
think
do.
that would be helpful to her. She's never seen destruction on a large scale. She's learned about it from Legacy. So this is what in front of her is something that is not something she's ever seen. It's not something she wants to see. So that's actually like a very kind act of charity to her, is not letting her, because she was going to force herself to look at it because it was her fault in her head. So you covering her eyes is going to help a lot. As she says, we have to help them. We have to see if someone's out there that needs help. We have to get buckets of water. There's a well, just over the hill. We can maybe irrigation. We could find some water elementals to help us. We could, and then she's just gonna start listing off like panicked options to try to help people in this moment.
Sly,
George.
that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know if like Una does believe that this is salvageable. Like, as you know who Una is, do you believe that this is actually salvageable, or if this is just a lost cause? Because that will decide how I respond. Kind of like, is it worth the, like, I have ways of trying to fix this, but do I recognize that it is much better to be away from this right now than to try and fix it?
I would say from what you guys are seeing, this is mostly farmland that's burning up. You know, dry fields where they were collecting grain. So this is not, it's bad, obviously. There might be a food shortage in the future, but it's not so bad in terms of like, oh, this is complete devastation. There is a town on the other side of this field. That
Perfect.
town, though, they might really, really need help.
Of course. So with that information, Una speaks as they, unless Aaren is carrying Sly or we're just all running together, like whatever it is, and they will just like with as easy and as with an easy voice, an easy tone, and a comfortable tone, say, there could be more that need us, and it is not so bad. I have seen many rebuild to only become stronger. And we have the power to make this destruction become the strength of the land. We should continue to go forward. It takes a very courageous will to leave when you do not want to. But what you find has always been in Una's position much, much better. Do you believe in Una?
Believe in all my friends. Of course I do.
I believe in your friends as well. And I believe in you. So let's make haste.
And then I look to Aaren.
Aaren does not look at you.
Oh
and
no!
Keeps looking forward and says, all right, everyone, make sure you have what you need. We're going over to the next town, help who we can. Then after that, we get in contact with your mother.
You guys race off. As you do, I want to cut away for a moment elsewhere. In town, currently, the closest town nearby is Oakrim. Lucian and Fable, I would say that you guys are there most likely. If you're heading back to the city, going to the town makes the most sense. Anything you guys are doing or at this time before things really kick off, what have you guys been up to?
Well, I think I assume before all the chaos happens, I had escorted and had done my job, and that is all complete now at this point, at least for the evening. Or am I still on the job for this escort?
No, you were there to basically secure the scene. Now that they're mobile and they're moving, there are guards with their escort heading back. You were just really there in case something happened on site.
Yeah. I think Lucian definitely rode with the carriage to at least to Oakrim. And then probably with the changes and developments of the day and him being gone for a while previously, decided to stick it out for a bit because he wanted to maybe keep tabs or look at opportunities potentially to investigate Sly and the whole situation. So I think he would probably be at a tavern.
Okay.
And he'd probably be in a booth in the corner by himself, with a pint and
Classic.
and just kind of sitting there. Back, he's facing whatever entranceway is into the tavern. He always sits facing towards an entrance. And I think he's just sitting there drinking, and he's just contemplating on what happened.
Okay. And what about you, Fable?
Like all good D&D characters, I am also at the tavern.
Of course.
Is there any entertainment at this tavern? Or is it smaller? Like it's just
There's-
like normal
There's
tavern.
probably an abundance of entertainment tonight because this festival just happened, and so yeah, there's a bunch of people here trying to pick up extra gigs and extra money. I'm gonna say for both of you, so you asked if there's entertainment. Is there anything else?
Well, so okay, so I don't think Gideon goes out back in Barrow Part as much as Fable does. As you
No.
saw in her art, she's kind of got like the shades, she's got the little head wrap, like she kind of like goes around a little more incognito. She's also just smaller, whereas Gideon is this huge man and he has a picked nose in the middle of his face, so he's quite noticeable and doesn't really feel so super comfortable going out. But she begged him to come with her to see the Seer's family or whatever. And so since I have this opportunity, we're sitting in a booth and I got him an ale and I'm teaching him. I'm like, there's those people are doing this and I'm critiquing if there's anybody dancing or juggling or anything even remotely close to that. I'm definitely critiquing them, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. You're sort of having fun here, and trying to get them maybe to be more social.
Hey, can I add one thing to
Yeah.
that? I guess just because I want to put some flavor and context, I would say that if you're okay with it, Fable was at the bar before I arrived, and the moment that I enter, I feel like there's probably a hush over the bar, and there's probably like a lot of eyeballs that look at me, and I would assume there's probably some whispers about who I am and why I'm there, and et cetera, et cetera.
what? Like what?
You know, I'll leave that to George.
Yeah.
But, and
What are the
I
whispers
I
saying?
make my way to the corner, and then that's where I kind of park shop.
Give me a perception check, Fable. And this is new for you because for you are used. I would assume you're probably used to either drawing the eyeballs intentionally or unintentionally. And
Yes.
this is a new experience where people aren't looking at you as much.
I think I went up to the bar and everything got quiet, and I'm like, oh no, it's happening. I turn around
Yeah.
and see Lucian walk in, and I'm like, oh, okay. Perception. Yeah. Oh, it's only a 10. This is my second ale.
You have no idea what everybody's deal is. As you guys are enjoying this moment, you hear pandemonium start outside. There's some shouts. There are some yells. You're not sure what's going on, whether it's a fight or something. I would like both of you to make luck checks for me.
Wait, what?
Luck checks.
Yep. Just
What do you mean?
Just a flat D20 and
What do
tell
you
me what
mean?
you get.
I don't get any pluses?
No.
I
just a
must be
flat
lucky,
D20.
right?
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
you know
This
what?
long.
You have a luck point, so that's
Oh, I do!
who
I could use
rolled in
that.
that one.
Who do
Oh,
you think,
sorry.
George? Who do you think?
Hold on, I realized.
No, I can't, dude.
No,
First-
no, you know what? I'm gonna leave it. That's my luck. 11.
You don't wanna test it? You don't wanna see if you get lucky?
Why are you saying that?
I was just asking. We're moving
Technically,
on.
that's
Wait,
3-1.
hold on. How many do I get? 2?
That is three
Uh,
ones.
sorry,
That is true.
as a lucky person. Wait, okay, hold on. I get 2 a day. I'll do it. Screw it.
Do you get 2? I thought you get 3.
Wait, I think maybe it's just my level, but I only get 2 right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
But I get to take whatever number's higher, right? Or is it
Yes,
just the
you
second?
get to take the number that's higher.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if that's how it works actually, but I'm deciding that is how it works.
The first roll is higher.
Yeah, it was 11.
11.
You guys hear pandemonium outside. If you go to investigate, you see people are running, and you see like ghastly images weaving in and out of the streets, moving through the city. Based on the luck checks you both rolled, I'm going to say let's see. Briefly for a moment, Fable, you see a little boy looking at you from an alleyway. you look at him and he's like see-through. And then he turns and you hear him running.
Can I follow him? Not like in a full, not quite full speed, but she's kind of like, wait, what the heck? And like,
you follow and you see just the tail end as he passes through a wall, leaving nothing but vapor behind him. And Adam, because you rolled a nat 1, you see, remember in the intro, that cool shot where the flame skull flew into the camera? Do you remember that? You see that as it flies into your POV. Give me 1 second. I need to pull up their stats. You give me a perception check, Adam, as this thing races towards you.
Oh my god, it's all my fault.
16.
16. 16. You see, just before this thing hits you, it has a crown on its head, a small one. And you feel it ram into you, and as it does, I'm gonna say that it rolls at advantage here. 1 moment. Okay, let's see. Advantage. That's not 20. Hey, first one. Hey, that's great.
first nat 1, first nat 20.
Woo in there.
Hey.
Yeah, this is gonna go well.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
It was great to. If you want to create another character as soon as
Yeah.
you can, we'd really.
No. No.
What's happening?
Stop
Oh,
rolling.
God.
That is 20 fire damage. Flames smack. You see, as you're like looking at this little kid vanish in the streets, you turn around, Fable, and you see that dark guy from the tavern that was at the Seer's house. You see him get hit by this ball of green flame and thrown onto his back. Adam, how's Lucian looking?
Pretty rough. Pretty rough.
Okay.
Yeah, but like he always looks rough, so like kind of on par.
I will say this, the rest of the town doesn't look much better.
Oh.
As fires are quickly starting to spread, what do the two of you
George.
want to do?
I guess the first thing is like I see that, and then I see the crown, and then it hits me, and I get knocked back, and then maybe I see a couple other ghastly forms kind of pass. I think I'm gonna take a second and clock like what direction they're coming from. And do I feel anything? Do I have a sense of familiarity, connection, or like I have an idea of the direction that it came, but I guess I'm trying to tap into this power and see if I can understand it or have a familiarity with it.
I would say give me a perception check and then an insight check. Okay. Perception to kind of spot where this stuff's coming from and to see if you notice anything, and then insight to see how you feel about it.
Okay, 20 is my perception.
Nice.
My insight is a 13.
13. You look, this stuff came straight from the Seer's house. No doubt about it. And as you look, you can see the stars in the sky because you got a natural 20. You see the stars in the sky, and you can see where there's a break in them, meaning that there's probably black smoke rising up between here and there, if not over her house. And you see all of that, and then you see wisps flying by. This, you don't know what this is. You've never seen something like this before, but every time you have seen something bizarre, catastrophic, horrible, or evil in your life, in your lifetime, it's always been something the Seer would come to save the day for. And if the Seer was ever going to show up, this is exactly the time they should be.
I think he kind of like clocks where it's coming from, and then he kind of looks down the road the opposite direction where he saw off the prince and Pepper and the entourage going in the opposite direction maybe 30, 45 an hour ago. And then he kind of like looks down, and his like cloak is like kind of charred and kind of burning at the seams, and he just kind of gives a deep breath. Fuck. And then he's just gonna immediately go to start helping people. The first people that he can see that need help, he's just gonna rush to them.
Okay.
I think Gideon, correct me if I'm wrong, George, but I feel like Gideon was behind Fable, and I think he would help you up because he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna get hit by a fireball.
You're like standing up, and this very, very large man with a pig nose is like wiping you down. You all right? He did a number on you.
Yeah, I'm fine. Help out anybody that you can.
Did he stab you? And he like puts a finger through like some like hole in like your clothing.
I just kind of like slap his finger away. Help people. And then I'm just gonna like take off like towards the first people I can see that need help.
Okay. You race off in that direction. What about you, Fable?
I think she comes back in after she sees the phantom disappears. She would come back in right about at the end of that exchange. So, I guess I'll give Gideon a look, and I guess look. Is there anyone where we can see where we're at?
There are people who need help everywhere. Yeah.
Oh gods. Okay.
In fact, I think we can go to the battle map now.
Oh gods.
Go ahead and.
Oh no, not a split party battle map.
Everybody roll initiative.
Ah!
Oh, really? Oh, dear.
Okay.
We're getting spicy, are we?
Well, hey, at least you're not starting it at half HP.
Oh, well.
Dude,
count your
20 damage would leave me at 1 HP.
It got it rough.
I'm a big boy.
Okay. One moment.
Jesus.
Okay.
Why am I rolling so low?
My bad, I beefed it, y'all.
Okay.
So bad.
Okay. Close that. Open that. Okay. Starting with Sly. What's your initiative?
1? Oh, sorry. Plus my actual initiative. 5.
5. Okay, that's not great. Lucian.
It gets worse.
4.
It does get worse. Wow. Oh shit. Okay. Fable.
Well, one thing about me is I'm always gonna perform well, and I got a 23.
Oh wow. Okay. Great. Humble brag much. Okay. Una.
Do I have to perform after her because I rolled a 4?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, look at us.
God.
Look at us.
Okay.
Who would've thought?
And Aaren.
I got an 11.
11. Well, that's right.
Oh, double digits!
If you add all of ours together, we maybe.
Okay. And
Yeah, I
I'm
got
just
hit
gonna
by a
make one
flaming
roll for
skull.
myself
Okay.
here.
Yeah, you did. You really did.
I'll
I'll be thinking of you.
That's gonna be +3. That's a 6. So hey, that's not bad. Still better than most of you, but you know,
Yeah.
not
Jeez.
great.
Yeah.
I have a +6 to initiative and still
Okay.
rolled an 11.
So, top of the round where you guys find yourselves. Let me go back to our map here. That's not where you find yourself. We will start with Fable. I'm going to say for the purposes of this combat, because you know what? Wait a minute. I was gonna say I don't have a mini for Gideon, but no, that's right. I made one earlier. Where is it?
Oh my gosh. I
one
swear to
moment.
God, if you hurt him, George,
Would I do that? Would I
George
do that?
hurting?
I will come to
Anybody?
your I will come to your house.
I don't think that doesn't sound like me. Okay. And I will roll for Gideon real quick. I'll say he has a +1. 15. Hey, that's not bad. Okay.
That's my boy.
Okay, so that brings us to right here. You find yourselves right about here. Activate.
Enhance. There we
You
go.
find yourselves here.
Okay.
Fable, what do we do?
It's okay. It's okay. We're fine.
Okay.
We're going to help people one thing at a time. Okay, just one thing.
Okay, what would you like to do? It's your turn.
Here's my one thing. I think even though Lucian has already turned away, I saw the impact, and honestly, he doesn't look great at full health, so I might have done this either way. Anyways, I'm gonna cast Healing Word. So you'll on Lucian.
On Lucian. Very
No,
good.
on Lucian, because I saw him get damaged. So she'll mutter some words under her breath and send some little gold sparkles at him, and you get 11 health back because I did it
Let's
at level
go.
2. And she'll say, "You're not gonna help people if you fall unconscious."
He just kind of turns around. Thanks. That house, people inside. The big guy can maybe get in.
Oh, yeah.
You heard him,
okay.
kid.
He doesn't question. He just races up, bashes through the door, and he's in.
No brain. Just go. Love him.
Was that your action or bonus action?
Oh my god, that's a bonus action spell. I forgot. Love Healing Word. Okay, then I will. I'll do a little more support as I send, or as Lucian instructs Gideon. I am going to also give him a little support and give him some bardic inspiration. And I'll say, "Be careful, please." Give him that. So he gets a d6 on his next ability check.
Are you staying where you're at, or are you moving forward?
Which house is it? The one to the left?
He went into this house.
I'm gonna move forward. I'm not gonna quite go in, but I'll kind of move up like that.
You see a woman here, ducking underneath this wagon, and she's hiding beside it. You see something's torn through this courtyard.
Oh. Okay.
She looks up at you. Can you help
Are you
my
alright?
baby? Can you help my baby?
Where? Where?
She looks up a little bit, and you see in this bale of hay there's a child hiding.
Yes. Just get out of here. Get out of here. I'll meet you. I don't know. Is there somewhere on the outskirts of towns that I would know of that would make sense, like a landmark or a building or something?
I think they just need to be escorted, but yeah, you did use your turn.
Okay,
in
okay,
movement,
get
I believe,
behind me
so-
then.
Yeah.
I just say get behind me then.
Okay. She gets behind you. Well, I'll say she's spending this time getting her child out of hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that brings us next into initiative. Well, Gideon ran in. That brings us to Aaren. You're on the other side of this place.
Howdy.
Things look rough.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Now, there are, things look rough, well, pretty much everywhere. What would you like to do?
I would like to, let's see here. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast the jump spell on myself. And then I will say to everybody else, all right, look around and see who you can help, I guess. And then I guess I want to try to cover as much of the map as possible, I guess, to look around.
Okay.
So I will use 10 feet of my movement using the jump spell to now instead jump 30 feet forward.
Forward?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you jump right in the middle, and you see something has cleaned through this courtyard. It looks like several people were hit with direct blast. Right here, there's like scorch marks and a like charred outline of where a person was.
And then I guess can I make I guess I'll use my action to make a perception check to see if I notice anybody else in the courtyard or like any other beings or
Yeah, go for it.
people. Just looking for anything hostile more specifically. Oh god, why? That's an 8 again.
8. One moment. Let me just check something. That's gonna be. We're just gonna roll this at disadvantage. But they do get a +3. You said you got an 8 total?
Yes.
You do not see anything. You're looking around. There doesn't seem to be a cause to this. Whatever did this has passed through here very quickly.
Gotcha. I think I will end my turn right here because I don't think there's anybody nearby within 20 feet I can try to help out.
Okay, you're like surveying things, and with your 8 perception, what you do not notice is flying through the skies is a skull with a crown covered in green flame. It sees you standing tall, and you hear this sort of howling scream. This is how you repay me! This is how you thank me! And suddenly there are, I'm going to say, suddenly there is a bolt of fire coming from this thing's eyes, and that's going to be a d20 to hit +5. 16 to hit.
Well, that hits my armor class exactly.
Okay, that is going to be 3d6 fire damage. That's 11 fire damage. As a bolt of flame flies from this thing and hits into you, it's screaming and it's circling around the courtyard about 30 feet up.
Nice to meet you too.
Actually, you know what? Wow, that's really surprising. It actually had to get this close in order to hit you. So never mind. It is actually within 5 feet of you. It's about above you. And it sort of is screaming this howling wail like, people have wronged me. I tried to show you it wasn't my fault. And with that, we will go to Sly.
Radio then. I'm horrified, and there are dead bodies everywhere. What I would like to do is, just question for our keeper. In all of our teachings of my grandmother's legacy and things like that, do I know how to get these things back in the cards? Is that how that happens?
Give me a insight check.
Oh boy. 18?
The cards might have an answer, but you'd have to flip through them.
I'm scared to do that, and it don't have a lot of time. So what I'm going to do instead is focus on what I can do, and I did see Aaren get hit, so I'm going to run up behind him.
5, 10. What's your movement?
30. Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay, you can get here. probably won't be able to get closer with. Well, actually, 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you could either get here or here. The flames there, unless you're willing to walk through them, and risk getting burned, would kind of stop you from getting with your full movement there.
I'll do a bonus action to dash a little closer safely.
Got it. Yeah, you loop around Aaren, running really fast as you see this thing screaming at him with flames wreathing off of its face.
Yeah, I'm probably not going that close to it. I'm probably on Aaron's other side.
Okay.
But I want to slap him with a card. One of the, not the major arcana, because I saw all of that lightning and terrible, terrifying energy come out of it. But the rest of the deck was very, like, stagnant. And from my studies, I do know that they were used for a myriad of spells and specialties. So I want to look through one that looks like it'll heal him and smack it onto the back of his back.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, you find a minor arcana. It looks like it probably has some kind of healing properties to it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to, with that card, cast Cure Wounds, and I will roll for that.
Man, cunning actions to get close and do Cure Wounds on someone. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, buddy. Did it work? Did it roll? I said use. It says cast, and then I clicked use. Did it
I think
roll?
you have to press the dice for it.
Gotcha. There it
Do
goes.
that. We'll figure out what that does. Okay, there it goes. So 7, it looks like.
Yep, and that's my full turn.
All right, Lucian. That brings us to you.
Do I see anybody in my immediate vicinity that needs help? That's not like Fable. Looks like they're taking care of them.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okay. I'll just 19, 21.
19. From where you're standing, you can see that there is a town guard who is sort of afraid to engage. You also hear something screaming out in the courtyard, so it sounds like whatever is doing this is probably there.
Yeah. Then I will move forward, and as I pass Fable, I'll just say, get them to safety. And then I'm gonna kind of get there, and I'm gonna assess the situation and see see Aaren, and then the skull, and then see Sly. And I think if I still have the 21, do I see her holding a deck of cards? Do I see her
Yep.
doing things?
You see her like flip through one and like slap it onto Aaron's back.
And then I think it's an immediate rest of my movement sprint to get to them.
Okay. Full dash, you get to them.
Yep. And I'll use my action to do so. And then when I get there, I'll look at Aaren and I'll say, keep her safe. She is the key to all of this.
Ew.
And then I'm going to turn and I'm going to look at the skull and say, I'm familiar with your kind. Want to go again? And then he's going to draw his greatsword.
Okay. Would you like to rage?
I would.
Okay. Good. That just figured that might be something you want to do.
Yeah.
That brings us to Una.
I would like to ask a question.
Yeah.
If I was to yell out to everyone that I can see, at least the 2 people that I know are here, actually, I would like to roll a perception check to see what I see. Like, do I see, how many people do I see?
Yeah, go for it.
Please. Great. I don't know what that means. Oh, I got a nat 20. 26.
Yay! Nice.
Hey, let's go.
Okay, so you see, I'll go ahead and tell you everything. You see that there is a gnome here, a halfling here, hiding behind some crates that are on fire. You see over here, Fable helping a woman and their child. You see a guard who's too afraid to engage. You also see around the courtyard, there are some barrels of water that could be very useful to you.
Definitely. then is there a way that I can... Oh, man. Am I able to take the water from these barrels, like, and just kind of like accrue as much water as I possibly can to set out the flames, extinguish
Yeah,
the
you go
flames?
ahead and you open up this one right here.
That's great. I'd like to take all of the water out of it. Do I see any other, like, you said that I saw a couple of them?
Yeah, it looks like there's some over here as well.
As you have all seen, Una has a way with water, obviously, but all the water that they are starting to accrue, like, condenses around them. Kind of like the dripping water, but more so like it's starting to make like some sort of like barrier in a way. I would like to use as much of my movement to get around to all of the different water barrels that I can in that regard. I don't know if I'm supposed to touch it or...
yeah, you kind of have to get close to like 5 feet to like pull it out, basically. But you get all of that water. What are you trying to do with it?
Well, I'm trying to accrue... I want to accrue a lot of water to then like just spray it everywhere. And
I would say it's probably best to dump into like specific spots, but if you want to just get all of it and try to do like a mass thing, I would say you would probably have to dash to the next one.
I see.
Just because it's kind of far from where you're at.
Gotcha. Okay, then I'll just use the water that I have there to try and set or extinguish this flame next to me.
This big one?
Yeah, and the person on fire too, if I can.
Oh God, yeah,
that's right next to it. You know?
Go ahead and I would say just make a spell casting check at advantage. So D20 plus your spell casting ability.
Jesus. Okay. Well, I got a 6. What's my spellcasting ability?
It's at advantage, so roll one more time.
Oh, right.
And I believe your spellcasting ability is
2.
It's your wisdom. What's your wisdom score?
It's my wisdom. Got you, +6. Okay, cool. A 7 plus 6.
Yeah, there you go.
13.
So you are able to put out this one, and you are able to put out this one.
Great. And then I'll yell to, or I will, I'll yell to everybody. If there's anything that Una can do to clear this flame, leave it to me. Focus on what you must, but the flames are my challenge.
Okay.
For those who hear it.
You yell that to them. You're taking care of the flames. That brings us to Fable.
I'm muted. Okay, I guess I see Lucian, or I hear Lucian and see him dash off. I guess from where I am, I can kind of see what's going on in the courtyard, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna... Well, I guess... So Gideon went into this building. Do I, like, still hear him? Or can I call out to him? Like, I just want to make sure he's not, like, being crushed in there or burnt or anything.
He comes out with...
While this woman's getting her kid.
He comes out with 2 dogs.
Oh,
Thank
God
goodness.
bless. Thank God they're safe. Okay, I would like to, here, actually, you hold on to those. I'm gonna help that guy. Will you just watch her? Watch them. I want to, like, go help the guard come over. Like, we're trying to get them out. Like, I'll tell Gideon, like, we need to go bring them that way. I'm just gonna grab that guy over there.
Who are you going for?
I think the guard is unless I see anyone between me and the guard, but I think he's the only other person I see, like, out, right?
Okay.
From where I am?
5 feet, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets you there. You can yell to him if you want.
Where does 40,
Oh,
I guess I
40?
don't need to go all the way to him. I don't need to go all the way to him, though, I guess, if I can just call to him. Like, I'll like, kind of duck, like, behind these, like, boxes and barrels, so I'd be like, psst, come here, we're getting out.
What? Okay. He's willing to take the assist.
I just usher him.
You see as Gideon sort of like has two dogs under one arm and then picks up the child. Come with me, ma'am. And the three of them start heading out with these two dogs.
That's what we're doing. We're getting.
Are you just
people out.
using your dash to continue getting away?
Yeah, I guess I'll do that to get about back to where I was. I'm not gonna leave the courtyard. Like, I'll make sure that I want to go back to where I was next to the cart. Yeah, so I can still see what they're doing. Like, I'm looking back to see where they're at, but I'm making sure the guard and the woman and everyone got out.
Okay, that brings us to Aaren.
Right on. I think it's time for a little revenge. So I'm going to cast Booming Blade and take a swing with my short sword as purple electricity begins to charge around my blade. And I'm going to make a swing. Let's see here. 7. I can't get out of that range. 7 to that.
That's a nat 1, actually.
What is that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go. It's a nat 1. My bad.
Yeah.
Awesome. Then I'm going to action surge.
Oh, okay.
And when in doubt, try again. Not Booming Blade, obviously. I'm just going to do a regular short sword attack. That is a 17 to hit.
17, that hits.
Awesome. Right, so that is going to be 8 points of piercing damage. And then, since I am using the 2024 version of the Eldritch Knight, the short sword does give me the Vex property, which gives my next attack advantage. So, with my dagger, I will make its offhand attack.
Go for it. How much damage was that, you said? 8?
Hold on. It disappeared on my screen after I just said it.
I believe it was 8. I'm gonna go with 8.
I think it was 8.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. All right. 8 damage. Got it.
All right. Then I'm gonna make a next attack at advantage.
Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that.
That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
Yes, that absolutely hits.
That's gonna be another 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay, got it. That puts him down to. Oh, that's where I'm doing it wrong. Okay, that puts him to about there. All right. He does look hurt. You slash into him twice. That brings us to his turn. The skull will scream. It wasn't an accident. It was an accident. And as it screams this, it's going to cast Fireball on itself.
Oh.
That is a.
No.
Let's see. 20-foot radius. It's about that. So it's just the 3 of you. Please give me deck saving throws.
No big deal. These dice have been going really good for me. 30-20.
Not another nat 1.
I got a 2. However,
Just healed you, man.
I'm going to use my new 2024 ability, Tactical Mind, where I will use one of my second wind usage to re-roll a saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. It's an interesting ability.
Oh wait, I can
For
see
the
this.
love
I
of all-
have danger sense. I have advantage on deck saving throws. I can see.
Yes,
So,
you absolutely do. Go for it.
yeah, let me roll that again.
You got this, you got this, you got this.
It's a
17.
9.
Daniel, what was your total score?
That was a 9 total.
9. That's not gonna do it.
Double digits are not my friend today.
So Sly and Lucian, you both save. Daniel, Aaren, you fail. So that's gonna be 8d6. There we go. 33 fire damage. That will be halved to 16 for Sly and Lucian.
I'm down.
All right, Aaren goes down. Unconscious. There we go. Unconscious. And Sly, are you up?
Yeah.
Okay. And Lucian, how are you doing?
Still kicking, baby.
All right. That is that. The Flame Skull takes none of that damage because it's immune to flames. That brings us to Sly. Sly, the fire rushes over you. You see Aaren collapse to the ground. The cards in your hand are completely untouched by the flames.
I drop to my knees, go through the cards, and smack another card. This time, if he lands on his back, I smack a card on his chest. So now he's like a card sandwich. And I go, Aaren, what up? And I smack it as hard as I can to cast Spare the Dying, which just will stabilize him. Won't give you any hit points, but at least you don't have to make death save.
Give me an investigation check while you do that.
Okay. And 11.
11. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, this is important to me. May I use my psi bolstered knack to add a d6 to this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Let's see. D6.
That makes it a 13.
13.
Which is just a little better.
You go through the cards and you pull this one out to do Spare the Dying and stabilize oh my god, Aaren. And then as you do that, you see you're like flipping through the cards and you do see one that sticks out to you, and it looks like this. One moment.
Can't be good.
It looks like this.
Oh my god. I found your home, you slippery little shit. Okay, bet. I am going to... Oh, that was me. That was not Sly. That was me. I am going to... I slap that on Aaren, and I see that, like, he's now breathing instead of, like, fully unconscious with, like, light breath. He's now got deep breaths, even if he's not awake. And I turn to Lucian, and I show him this card, and I say, we gotta get him back in there! And then I throw my body over Aaron's.
Okay.
So if another fireball happens, I'll take it all.
Okay, I'm going to mark you as prone.
Yep.
All right, that brings us to next up in initiative is Lucian.
Okay. So you do that and you show me the card, and then you go over, you lay over Aaren.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna step in front of the like skull, like in between the skull and you. But I'm gonna like reach down, and with one arm I'm gonna grab your shoulder and I'm gonna yank you off Aaren and say, you're not gonna help anybody if you're dead. Get out of here. And I'm gonna try and like pull you off of him and like away. Like just try to like toss you a little bit behind.
Give me
I'm very tossable.
you can give me contested athletics.
I'm not strong. I have a -1 to strength.
I have advantage on strength checks. Does that
You
include
do.
athletics then?
Oh
Yes.
no. Alrighty, let's a smooth 7.
14.
14. How far would you like to throw her?
Just like, you know, like I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm just trying to get her away. You know, like it's
Yeah, she's a halfling. It's
Yeah.
fine. That
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
this
it's
wasn't
like
abusive.
10 feet or something. I just kind of pick her up and like throw her out of harm's way. Like, and it's like definitely like, you know, like stupid girl. Like, you know, like just like toss her and like throw her back. And then I don't know if that would be considered my action or if you'd give that to me as like a bonus action.
I'll give that to you as a bonus action.
Yeah. And then I'm going to kind of like take that second and kind of like circle him with the sword out, the skull, and then I'm gonna kind of rotate to the other side so that it's like facing away from Aaren, facing away from her, and then yeah, and then I'm gonna swing
Go for it.
with my great sword and probably miss, but we'll see. Ooh, 22.
22 absolutely hits.
All right, love that. So that's 6 damage.
Okay.
And as I swing,
Did you add
unsure
your
if this
plus
is-
2 from raging?
no,
I don't
I
think
didn't.
so. Okay, so that would be 8.
8 damage. And then unsure, but as I like strike down, you're gonna see this kind of like blur of like darkness, like, you know, on the blade, and it's gonna like pull some of that flame towards it, or attempts to. And if it can, it'll take 3 necrotic damage.
It will take 1 necrotic damage.
Okay. But you'll see, like, as he like strikes at this skull, you're gonna see like that kind of black kind of like blur quickly, and you're gonna see some like essence kind of pour into the blade towards Lucian, and then he's gonna say, "We all know it wasn't an accident."
Give me a intimidation check for saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just with
scare the scary guy.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily to scare; it's more or less just to draw the ire of this.
I would say
individual.
you've been very successful in that. No one believes me! No one believes! It screams, and that brings us to Una.
Yes. Seeing how like this water, this is going to take obviously way too long. This is obviously easier when you're surrounded by water everywhere, and this is not going where it should. So Una, rather than trying to get all of the flames out, will then just like focus on what flame needs to be put out.
Okay.
And I would like to cast, actually, you see some of the water that's still dripping off of like the buildings and what they threw on kind of like start to culminate and like move up to Una's like arms.
Mm-hmm.
And as they go, you see their hands kind of like go up, hands clasped together. And as it goes up, you see that this water is like hardening and ice is like forming from it. And then they put their hand forward, and as this ice is shaping this water and they pull their arm back, you're going to see that this like watery ice bow is starting to appear, and you're going to see this water like this really rippling sharp water condensing onto this bow as they cast guiding bolt towards the skull.
Go for it.
That's a big boy.
Come on, please. Please. 19 to hit.
Yes, that absolutely hits. Roll damage. This could.
Roll
Guiding
good.
bolt does
Could
good
what?
damage.
Could what?
13 points of radiant damage.
13 points of radiant. Okay, you blast this thing. As you do, the light from your weapon, this guiding
Yes.
bolt slams into it just as its eyes are glowing in front of Lucian. Lucian, you see this thing get smacked out of the air and crumble into the ground. The skull itself just starts to burn and crack and turn to dust. As it does, the crown starts to glow that same burning green, and it lifts up and starts flying up into the sky.
Great. I assume there's not much I can do about it.
If you want to try to grab it, you could.
Could I try and grab it?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a reaction.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll use my reaction to try to grab it. What do I roll?
It would be athletics.
Okay. Which I have advantage on.
I'd love a nat 20 here. That would be so nice.
So would I.
It's not in that one.
22.
Okay.
22.
Okay. That's really good. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. 22. It's gonna roll a contested check. That's gonna
It's running
be,
away.
Worried it's a cursed item, but let's go.
Someone's got to touch it.
What?
That is a
4?
23.
Dang.
Why did it roll that many dice? What?
Yeah, wait, I don't think that's a 23.
Yeah, wait a minute. What the heck? Why did it do all that?
It
One
rolled
second.
so many dice.
Yeah, ignore that. There we go.
What?
30.
Wait,
Oh,
still-
no, wait a minute. That's wrong.
It's still
Sorry.
a 2.
I'm
combining
doing,
the
I'm
totals.
doing advantage wrong because I'm
Come
a
on, that
goof.
one.
Here we go.
Come on,
Advantage
that
roll.
one.
There we go. That is a 22
19.
because it rolled a 19
So
plus
both.
3. This thing starts to lift you up. So what did you roll? A 21 or a
22.
23?
22.
You
Right,
also
we
rolled a
matched.
20.
Oh.
This thing starts lifting up. Lucian, what I will say is it starts lifting up. You can feel it starting to burn you if you care. As it's lifting you up, you don't think this thing's going to be able to pull hard enough to let go of you or to get you to drop it. But it's also not going to stop moving. And it starts moving up into the sky. What would you like to do?
I think if I can, if it starts to kind of like lift me up a bit, I assume it's not like super fast, but like
Oh, it's
maybe
struggling with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably kind of a long shot, but I would probably yell out to Sly, and I would just yell out the card, Sly the card, and then I think I'm gonna try and grab the branch of the tree, like one of the tree branches, and just kind of like Spider-Man in the middle of the bridge, like try to
Yeah.
hold the crown and hold myself here.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Sly, what are you trying to do with the card?
Oh, I like got thrown back and immediately try and like get up, and I'm like clumsy running forward, and I still have that card in my hand because I tried to hand it to Lucian and he tossed me away. So I am going to do a bit of a climb up Lucian to try and see if I can get this thing into the card.
Okay. How would you like to do that? You're trying to like hit it with the card?
Should I do an Arcana check to see if that's just gonna
Sure.
burn the card away? Yeah.
Go for it.
'Cause I don't want to do that. But I'm not good at Arcana either, so ooh, wee, yee, haw.
You make your best guess.
Okay, yeah, then her best guess would be to like try and seal the two back together. So she crawls up Lucian and goes, I hope this works, and we'll try and like compress the card onto the crown.
You press the card, and as you do, there is like a reaction where it's sort of like you feel something happen in the card. It's gonna have to make a wisdom saving throw, and that is going to be it has a +0 on that.
Come
But it
on.
does
Ooh.
have advantage on magical effects, so it does have advantage, but it's a +0,
Come on.
and it has to be a 14. That's an 11. You press the card on it,
card.
and the crown starts to move, but as you press it, there's like this, and it's like the card itself became a vacuum in space, and suddenly you just see the crown start to bend, and that skull reforms. Now, there's not all of this crown is hot, but all the fire that was on that skull was gone. You see the skull start to reform in this crown, and flesh starts to form onto that skull. And then as that flesh is forming, it bursts once again into green flames as this person screams, "No!" And the whole skull and the flame and the crown, well, not the crown, but the skull and the flames are pulled in, and the card falls to the ground with a spinning crown with steam rising off of it. It's just circling, ching, 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 ching.
And as that like happens, like obviously like we kind of fall because that was like also holding me up there, but like
Yeah.
I think I like catch her and then like gently like set her down and then like hop down to the ground afterwards.
Oh. Aaren! And she's gonna like she takes like 2 seconds to like let the gravity of the situation settle in, and then immediately starts like crawling over to Aaren, like stumbling over herself to start waking him up.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look over and then I'm gonna look back towards Fable, and then yell out, "Can you help him? You, can you help him?"
Yep. I will come right over, and I'll do the same thing I did to
Yeah,
Lucian. I'll
he-
cast a little healing word.
We can skip past this only so much that he's stabilized. The
Yeah,
threat is
just to-
actually gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I will say is that as you guys like survey the situation, you're helping put out fires. What one of you or some of you might notice is that a lot of those wisps left the town. Those pieces of energy left the town, and a lot of them headed towards the kingdom. You see them rush in that direction, and you look around at just the devastation one of them was able to cause here. And that is where we'll leave off as you take that in and consider what your next moves are. We will pick up right here next week, probably with a little bit less fire as you guys put those out and plan your next move. Well, actually, we won't be here next week because next week is Thanksgiving. I muted my mic on accident. I will be here doing a map making stream because these guys are going to need more maps to go to. And so I will be here to put maps together, and I can tell you about the show, and I can talk about what I'm working on for the next episode and answer questions. I might also at some point rewatch some of this show, this episode, to kind of give commentary on some of the stuff we went through. I want to go back to the mini map real quick. Our mini map, our battle map, this is all powered by Foundry, who is absolutely amazing. I'm going to turn it to daylight now so we can see a little bit better. Actually, a little bit too bright. There we go. They're absolutely amazing. That's how we're able to get like these kind of like shimmering lights effects. That's how we're able to do things like, let me just go to these barrels real quick. These barrels can actually open. And so that way you guys can get more water if you needed it for the fight, stuff like that. And yeah, all the flames, by the way, if I double click them, not only does it put the flame out, whoop, that one didn't work the way it was supposed to. That was backwards. This one over here, that's me, I messed that one up. But this one over here, for example, if I double click on it, it not only puts the flame out, but it also turns off the lighting that was under that flame.
That's
so that
so
way
cool.
it actually changes the environment scene.
So
But
sick.
the reason I really want to come here, not just to shout out Foundry, who makes all of this possible, and also gave a shout out for the show, but I want to show you guys something. So this is the token I used for Pepper today. While we were playing, the people at Forgotten Adventures were drawing, because that's what they do, is they draw.
Whoa.
And they make cool things. And I just want to pull this up. Update. And so now that's the actual Pepper,
Mother.
just the way she's drawn.
What?
So yeah, they made that for us while we were playing.
awesome.
So
Thank
thank you,
you.
Forgotten Adventures, and thank you guys all for watching. I'll be back here next week for map making, and then we will be back I believe it's December 4th, if I want to just check the
Yes.
stream. Yeah, we'll be back December 4th for episode 2. We'll have 3 episodes in December. We'll take a break for Christmas, and then we'll be back for the rest of the show in January. I'm really excited. We have 10 episodes of the show planned, and if you guys like it, and if we get the support, we're going to end up doing more of them. So it's been awesome hanging out with you guys. Guys, thank you for playing. You guys were all amazing. You lived. For a minute, when the fireball
This
went off,
time.
I thought I might kill 3
This
people.
time.
But I didn't. So that's great. So
Aaren
Awesome.
still lives.
yeah. All right, guys. That is all for us. Have a very good night, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Oh God! Now we gotta go to the credits. Oh my God! You guys are not ready for the credit music.
Credits?
You are
Credits?
not
Okay,
Okay, let me
ready
turn
for
off
the
my
credit
mic. Let me
music.
turn off my mic.
Yeah,
Oh.
muting.
It's yeah, it's different. One sec. Brr, 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 brr.
A worry in your mind. Fear is how it starts. Unsure what you'll find. It could tear you apart. You take a leap of chance. You break your mother's oath now. Macabre is the dance. And set free are the ghosts. Will a card save us here? Will it spell out our dooms? Only one thing is